If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
see the locked doors, but I got the key. I'ma give you a second just to catch your breath, 'cause I can see that your heart is jumping out your chest. I know you gave it up 'cause I've already seen your best.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Checkered flag at Talladega.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 13 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Oval Series here from Talladega. Joining me in the booth tonight, and actually before I segue into this, Steve, round 13, what a season it's been. 13 rounds. We've already pretty much got the championship elect right in front of you tonight, but there's a lot to play out for second, third and fourth as they go into qualifying. But Steve Hoppett, mate, what a great first season. Talladega, round 13. What a way to play it out.
Mate, you can't hear the sound, but I'm rubbing my hands together. This is going to be just great stuff. As the league admin, it's just the culmination of all the work that's gone into it. The support from the drivers, the support from our sponsors, the support from other commentators, the production team, and here we are, 13 rounds later, and just it's a sense of satisfaction and relief that it's come to this. And it's very easy to say Talladega, there's going to be chaos. It's a super speedway, but there's been some fantastic green flag racing lately, and the word of the day to the drivers is racing rooms. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, we'll see what they pull out. Obviously, that super speedway as we go through your championship standings there, as Kobe's nice enough to bring that up on this screen. Gary Wellman, your championship elect on 459 after a good result last weekend. Jamie Nankervis on 385 and Craig Roffey 369. So that's still a little bit to play out. Looks like Jamie's got that one sorted. We'll see how Craig Roffey goes. Andy Barber in 321 in your fourth position. And then rounding out your 10 is Troy Davidson. It's a Troy Fest in 5 and 6. Troy Davidson, Troy Mortensen in 5 and 6. Adam Malone, Tristan Koch, Cade Donnelly and Tony Roffey in your 10th position. But it looks like at the moment, Steve, as they're in qualifying, Gary Wellman's definitely got this one tied up, but I know that these guys are definitely going to want to race really, really hard and try to get the win here at Talladega as we go across to the track facts. So as I said, we're here at Talladega, 250 miles or 402 kilometres as it is in the imperial sense here across in Australia or the UK or everywhere on 402 kilometres. Track length, 2.66 miles, 4.2 kilometres per lap. 94 laps tonight, fuel capacity 70%, and tyres, they got 3 over the wall, ladies and gentlemen. So everyone tuning in, they do have 3 over the wall. It's not really going to be a big factor here around the super speedway as we're on board there. I believe that's Pete Matson in the Orbic. And then green-white checkers as well. We'll have that as well. So Pete Matson 173. But we go across the start-finish line, and at the moment, it's Todd Maxfield at the top of the leaderboard there, Steve, with only 2 minutes to go, with a 52.432 over Cade Donnelly, with the Simboys front row, 52.438.
Yeah, look, the only thing I need to mention there is it's actually a 100 lapper tonight to finish the series. Normally you would run 94 laps here because it's 2.66 in difference to Daytona, which is 2.5, but it was actually decided to just go with the even 100 laps tonight, so an extra 6 laps in it to round out the series, and just to make sure the boys have actually got as many laps as possible that they need to survive.
Yeah, well, I'm just in the background here trying to sort out my ATVO and trying to get that all sorted. So I'll let you just keep commentating at the moment, mate, and get that sorted as I get everything sorted ready for the race here. So just take over with that if you can, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, as you said, Mr. Craig Roffey, who sits third in the championship on points at this particular moment, and he's a 52.370, so leads tops the leaderboard there. Todd Maxfield running second at the moment with about 48 seconds left on the clock. Cade Donnelly, Rick Vincent, all the usual suspects. Shannon Wright has qualified fifth at this point with a 52.447. Really great to see Shannon up so far, qualifying really well tonight. Gary Wellman, our championship incumbent, is sitting back in sixth. Derek Jacobs, Jamie Nankervis, another front runner for a podium in the championship. Tristan Koch, ninth, and Chris Finlay sitting in 10th. And we've got a couple of guys who it's their first championship round tonight. Not the least of which I believe this might be Chris's, and also Kim Roffey for the Rogue Sim Sports team. Kim's actually come in this week and looking forward to getting his teeth into season 2 and the summer series, etc. As we start the grid, as the boys start to grid up, we're going to go to a quick ad. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to round 13, the finale for the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Series, proudly sponsored by Everything Simulated and Inside Lane Productions, streaming on Quasi Esports exclusively to YouTube. And good day to anybody who's out there watching at the moment. We've just got the guys gridding up right now. We're going to go over the grid and take a look at how they line up tonight for the final race of Season 1. Craig Roffey coming off pole position and Todd Maxfield alongside him on the front row. So we've got Sim Boys and Rogue once again on the front row. Row 2 will actually be Kate Donnelly and Rick Vincent. So again, we've got a combination of Sim Boys and Rogue on the second row. Row 3, Shannon Wright from Everything Simulated and Gary Wellman of Sim Boys, Derek Jacobs and Jamie Nankervis as row 4. Row 5 will be Tristan Kosh, great to see Tristo up there, and Chris Finlay rounding out the top 10.
And as we go through into the 11th position tonight, will be Pete Matto Matson as livery just went away there. Pete Matson out of 11th position, not sure where we are. Oh, sorry, Shane Roffey out of 11th, and Jared Williams in the 96 out of 12th. Out of 13th position tonight will be Pete Matson, who I just mentioned in the 173 in the 13th position. Andy J. Barber, look out for him in the number 20, starting out of 16th. It is Talladega, a lot to play out. Tony Roffey, the 85, starting out of your 15th position tonight, and Paul R. Draney in the 129 out of 16th. As we go across into the 17th position tonight, will be no one other but Tom Pritchard in the car number 6, and Kim Roffey in the 099. Look out for Kim, starting out in the 18th position tonight. 19th position, Troy Mortensen. Morty, he's up there in the championship. He's back in the qualifying disposal, as we say, in the 19th position, but he's always there or thereabouts to look out for the 83. And Luke Keamy in the 166, starting out of the 120, out of the 20th position, Steve.
And Adam St. John is at the back of the grid. He's actually going to start at rear of grid and see what he can do with it. Adam is also new to the series tonight, and his first round. He's looking forward also to getting his teeth into Summer Series and Season 2, which will come in a few months' time. And the boys are behind the pace truck there at the moment, and I believe Craig Roffey, sitting there on pole position, will take control of the field when the pace truck pulls off in just a moment, Aidan.
Yeah, he will, and we're about to go green. Long way to go, 100 laps. Craig Roffey will take us off to the green. You've got Kate Donnelly, our pole sitter for for the race last week, and we saw how that went for the 41 from the Sim Boys car, and that didn't end up the way that he would have liked it. So a long way to go. Talladega, we're going to see 2-3 wide racing here. 100 laps to go. It will be Roffey off the pole. On the outside will be Maxfield. It will be a Sim Boys jungle as we go, but we're green now here for round number 13. We've already decided the championship elect, but now the boys are going to race for the minors, and we are lap 1 into 100. We're going to see what the boys are going to try and play out here. As you can see on the outside line, they're out of turn number 1 and 2 for the first time tonight. Todd Maxfield wanting to have a good run on the outside. We're going to see 2 or 3 wide racing here as Wellman leads the way, but it's exactly what I thought, and we're going 3 wide into turn number 3, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig Roffey's still in control of the field with Kate Donnelly right behind him. And next to them on the midline is, of course, Todd Maxfield and Rick Vincent, who took second place last week behind Gary Wellman. And you've got Gary Wellman, speaking of the man himself, he's leading that far outside row, row 3, right out near the fence there. and they are 3 wide, Aidan, as they come across the stripe.
They are, and how good's this? We're only lap 2 into 100, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are watching here on the broadcast streams of Quasi Esports or anywhere you tune in around Australia or around the world, get excited. Get your glass of wine, get whatever tunes in, and get excited because this is Talladega, and we're going super speedway racing. Already 3 wide down the outside. The championship's already done. So this is about the champion of the trophy at the moment. Who wants to win this race? 3 wide up on the outside, as you can see right now. Gary Wellman, your leader off the start, still staying and holding fast on the inside line. That middle line led by, I think it might be Rick Vincent in the 16. No, that's Todd Maxfield in the 16, leading that mid line. And then on the outside, you got Vincent and Finlay. So I tell you what, they're getting excited. We're only about to go lap 3 into 100, Steve. Tell me what, I need to go and get a drink, because if I need to call this for the next 97, I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Rick Vincent almost made a move like he was going to go 4 wide and try and use that space between Todd Maxfield and Craig Roffey, and thought better of it at the last moment. I think Maxfield closed the door a little bit on him, and as we see Rick Vincent now, he's going to go straight past. He's got the momentum, and he takes to straight to the lead of the race, but I think Craig Roffey's going to fight back here. Vincent fighting him off, and he's actually straight through that gap and in ahead of Todd Maxfield. Great move there by Rick Vincent. He's on fire tonight. He's got the demon eyes on, Aidan.
Yeah, Ricky's got his eyes on, but tell you what, he definitely was a little bit dubious there through the corner when he got a rub through the middle of the corner. So we all know on super speedways, as you can see, Rick just really tailoring off there on the inside run as Gary Wellman, the championship leader, goes up to the front as well. But rubbing through the corner here at 300 kilometres an hour, and you can see Andy Barber there now making his way to the front in the 20 as well. So some super speedway kings making their way to the front. We're only 4 laps into 100. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone tuning in here on the streams where we are, don't get too excited too early. I usually do, which I'm doing right now. But
Well, it's hard not to do, Aidan.
Yeah, do not get too excited. Long way to go. Lap 4 into 100 as Derek Jacobs, after being in the top 10, our United States of America friend, just sitting back there, and it's not his first rodeo, Steve. He knows how to race these leagues. So what do you think Derek's doing at this stage of the race?
I think Derek's more than happy to just sit where he is. He knows it's a long way to go. He's a very experienced campaigner, and he's actually got Tristan Koch and Peter Matson sitting in behind him. And I think that's Adamson John in the blue and white car sitting just in ahead of Derek Jacobs. These boys at the back are just trying to keep touch with the front runners. They know it's a long way to go, and they're not in any mood to actually push their way to the front just yet. Anything can happen, and I think what they're trying to do at the moment is just play it safe, keep it straight, keep it clean, as we've got Kate Donnelly giving a really good push to Craig Roffey there at the moment, with Rick Vincent on his outside, and I think that's Paul Ardrady in the 129 car sitting in behind Rick Vincent, and he's trying to push Rick to the front, and Shane Roffey in behind him in the orange and black Rogue Sim Sports car. So plenty of action at the front. The guys are working together well, and we've got some nice racing there going at the moment. And the boys have brought it back to 2 wide on such a really nice track. Lots of room, lots of space, and they're giving plenty of racing room at the moment.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now, Steve, is we see on the outside line there, I'm not sure who that is, as they make the run on the outside of Gary Wellman. Oh, no, that's not Gary Wellman, that's Roffey. On to the inside, we go 3 wide again, through 3 and 4 this time around. But what I'm interested to see here, Steve, I was getting excited early. We're only 6 into 100, so let's just calm it down and let's have a chat and talk through the race as the road guys go down through the triangle for the 6th time tonight, and they will take lap 7. So a long way to go. We spoke about this early in the race. Were there going to be cautions? Were there not? At the moment, what we're seeing, everyone's just trying to settle in. So at the moment, we now turn our attention to a fuel race. Okay, so you've got the Rogue boys at the front. They're going to be using more fuel. Let me finish there. Yes,
I was actually watching Craig Roffey getting a little bit out of shape with an off-centre push from Kate Donnelly.
Well, we'll go back to that. But just with the fuel part, you got guys at the front, and they're going to be using more fuel, right? So we were expecting a caution early. We're 7 into 100. Long way to go yet, as you see Tom Pritchard there on the outside making his way up. So now fuel and strategy is coming into it. We might get a caution, lap 8 into 100, but I was so excited. I thought there would be a caution early, and there hasn't. So these guys are driving really, really well. You can see Tom Pritchard on that third lane on the outside line there. No help. He's just going to drop down onto that second line. So 8 into 100. We thought a caution. Not so much so far, but at the moment is Roffey leading. Roffey, I believe. Rogue Sim Sports at the front of this are literally pushing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. 8 into 100, Steve. I'm excited. I'm getting too excited too early. You need to calm me down.
Yeah, all right, mate. Not a problem at all. And I'm thinking the Rogue Sim Boys cars are really working well together. We actually had 4 in a row on that inside lane. And as the purple car there, I think, is actually Kim Roffey, and his first round in the series. As we take a look at, that's Cade Donnelly, of course, was sitting in behind Craig Roffey, and he's now dropped down onto that inside line as the boys get just a little bit close, and Rick Vincent into the back of Cade Donnelly there, but it's all under control. It's all being held very well together, and the boys really putting on a fantastic show. Like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Give this a like. Let the guys know that you're enjoying what they're doing out there. Some fantastic racing out there at the moment as we see the Rogue Sim Sport guys really pushing, and I think the whole aim, Cade Donnelly, great catch, fantastic catch. I don't know how he managed to do that, and he's come together again side by side with Craig Roffey, so there's plenty of paint swapping going on, but the boys are keeping it all under control, Aidan.
Yeah, doing a great job. 3 wide into 1 and 2 this time. Only 10 laps into 100, so we've got 10 times of this to go, ladies and gentlemen. Cade Donnelly giving a big rub up the, without wanting to be disrespectful, but Cade Donnelly doing a big push up onto the back of Craig Roffey there in the first position. So you can see how dominant it is when you get a good push, but I think Cade's not happy with something that happened earlier. My ATVO live timing is playing up, so I've got none of that. I'm literally just looking at what you're looking at the broadcast, and I'm calling that. So if you see what I'm talking about and you want to go do this, go do it. But anyway,
I think you just call what you see in Aiden, and I think you'll have it covered.
Roffey, Donnelly and Vincent, year 3, across the live timing there. So the 41 there of Cade Donnelly in second place. But Steve, how close it is. It's a super speedway, a long way to go. They need to position their cars into a good position to be able to be in a fight to battle for this race. But we might have got excited 11 laps in, but let's bring reality into this race. They need to be in a position to be able to go through pit lane and transition there in the shortest possible time to be able to come out and get your friend, if we do go green, to be able to go to the end. So right now is not where the race starts. Right now is where the race begins. Well, where the race ends, if you know what I mean. So you can make a lot of bad decisions and ruin your end race strategy. But at the same time, as we see them go 3 wide, it's round 13. So they don't care. We're going to go send it. As Gary Wellman goes into 1 and 2 speed.
Well, you be the level-headed voice of reason all you like, mate. I'm going with the incitement factor here because these boys are pushing. Cade Donnelly's got a point to prove after starting so well at Nashville Super Speedway last week and succumbing to tyre deterioration in the heat. And he's really got a point to prove. He knows, he'll be fully aware that the guy in front of him is up for second in the championship. So he's doing everything he can to put himself at the front. If that means pushing Craig Roffey further afield, that's exactly what he's going to do. But Roffey's gone to the outside now, so Donnelly's actually going to push hard, and he's actually going to look for the lead of this. I think he's got his nose in front. We're 3 wide again. Craig Roffey's been hung out to dry in the middle line there, and he's got nobody supporting him, nobody actually sitting with him that he can work with as the boys are going to the inside line or the outside line, and Roffey sits there on his lonesome, and absolutely nobody else sitting there behind him to push him along.
Yeah, I don't know why Roffey just drifted high there. I don't know whether it's a bit of a fuel strategy. It did allow Cade Donnelly on that inside line. He's going to get a big push by the 94 up the inside there by Rick Vincent into turn 3 and 4. So not sure why Roffey just sort of drifted up and allowed Cade Donnelly to get that job done. It could be a little bit of fuel strategy. It could be a lot of different things. But at the moment, we're nearly 4 wide in the background. It looks like Pete Matson trying to make his way up in this grid as well. So Peter Matson from the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, what a gentleman he is. He's making his way up in the Orbic car there on the outside into turn number 1 and 2, but it still would be Roffey, Drady and Maxfield in turn number 1 and 2 as we get really close to side-by-side action.
Paul Drady and Todd Maxfield.
Paul Drady is definitely using that side run down into the corner, and he's not giving them a lot of room, Steve.
No, absolutely no room there. Maxfield's now discretion's the better part of valour, and he's actually dropped in behind Paul Drady. Now he's going to push Drady, and there's a push from Cade Donnelly on Craig Roffey, who's gone off onto the apron and then rejoined back on the field. Fantastic catch and great driving there from those guys. And they're going to go.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit. And there we are. Lap 14. We've got our first caution, Aidan.
Yeah, unfortunate. We can see there with the guys that they were we go back to the instant replay. Obviously, Cade Donnelly, as you said, just got into the back of Roffey. 3 wide there on the outside. Roffey wasn't trying to lift. Cade wasn't going to lift. No one was going to lift. And it's exactly what we said when we come into the race. Just back out, and to finish first you must finish. But that's our first incident of the race, and that involved Vincent and Roffey and Cade Donnelly. So unfortunate there. We caution again, caution for the first time tonight, 15 laps into 100. I'm enjoying this, mate. I thought we were going to go green to the end.
Well, it was the cars behind that I think copped the most damage out of that. Obviously, the 3 cars involved in that didn't get a lot of damage out of that. It was more a bit of pushing each other along. But I think about midfield, a couple of those guys might have gotten caught up in something trying to avoid the incident. Adams and John, I think, actually managed to get down onto the apron. And a couple of the other guys midfield may have not been so fortunate, Aidan.
Yeah, unfortunate. Super Speedway, that's exactly what happens. But 15 into 100, it will be Rick Vincent, your man, who was up there in the podium last week, Steve. Up the front at the moment, leading the way over Cade Donnelly and Paul Drady in the 3rd position. Maxfield, Roffey, so 2 Roffeys, 5 and 6 as they come into pit lane, and that will be Rick Vincent. So your first pit lane transition tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here for round number 13 of the Everything Simulated V8 Oz Oval Series. Rick Vincent in through pit lane first. They will be topping up on fuel. Not sure whether they'll be getting tyres, Steve, to be honest.
Wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either, but we'll see how they come out. But, mate, from me, a big thank you to be able to commentate in your series, and I really appreciate it. And what a series you brought on here for the Oz Oval Series. It's really, really good to be able to commentate it, but a big thank you, and I hope you're happy with the whole series that you put together, albeit Gary Wellman has pretty much got that tied up, but the racing that we've gone and the broadcasting, I hope you're happy with that, mate. So a big thank you from me.
Look, absolutely, mate, and a thank you from me as well. It's great to have you on board in the commentary booth, and I know you enjoy it. We're going to go to a quick ad break right now and pay some bills for some sponsors. We'll be back in just a minute. Stick around for round 13 of the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Series, brought to you by Everything Simulated.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back, everyone, here for round number 13 of the Oz Oval Series from Talladega Super Speedway. Steve-O, mate, we just heard from all the sponsors, which was great, and everyone tuning in here on the streams, wherever you are, around Australia and around the world. Thank you for tuning in and support the people that support us. But Steve-O, mate, we thought we were going to go green there for a minute, 17 into 100. We've had our first caution. Rick Vincent, Kay Donnelly will lead us the way off the start this time around over Maxfield, Roffey. So lots of Roffies there in the 4th, 5th and 6th position. Tristan Koch in 8th as well. So, mate, we were excited for what we thought might have been a green flag race, but we've had a caution, 17 to 100. Does that open the leashes? Are we going to see another couple of cautions? It is the final round, round 13. We've pretty much given you your winner of the championship being Gary Wellman. There is fights for the bottom of the podium at the moment. Do you think we're going to see more green? But I'll let you take him, more yellows rather. I'll let you take him to the green. So we come out of 3 and 4 this time. Rick Vincent, Kay Donnelly leads the way. But Steve, take us to the green here as we go green flag for the second time tonight.
Yeah, Rick Vincent obviously in control of the field here in the number 94 Rogue Simsports car, with Kay Donnelly from Simboys, number 41, on his outside. And he's got an absolute slew of Simboys and Rogue cars in that front pack, as well as we can see Shannon Wright, who's also up there on the outside, 4th car back. And they go green, and Vincent drops the hammer, gets a good start, but everybody goes with him. They're all awake to it. And Kay Donnelly certainly got a good start with Todd Maxfield right in behind him. So the two teammates will work together on the outside line there as we go 2 by 2, and no 3-car wide just at the moment. As we look at 1, 2, 3, 4 Rogue Simsport cars on that inside line, and then Tristan Koch following them through as Kay Donnelly takes the lead and takes his teammate Todd Maxfield with him. They're Maxfield side by side with Rick Vincent at the moment. Vincent's putting up a hell of a good fight on that inside line with Kay Donnelly on the outside. Now, interestingly, out of the 3 cars that were involved in that coming together that brought out that first caution, Kay Donnelly the only one to use his fast repair.
Yeah, and he's not going to want to get caught up in another incident at all, Kay Donnelly, through that. He's not in the fight for the race at the moment. Not to say he's not going to come back, but you can see on the outside there, Pete Maxson trying to make it 3 wide out of turn number 2 here at Talladega, down the back straight, so 3 wide. The draft is very essential as well. I'm not going to get too excited too early, as I did earlier on there, Steve. Donnelly on the middle line there in the 41. He's being pushed along by Todd Maxfield. On the inside is Vincent. He's being pushed along by Roffey as well. So teammates on teammates at the moment trying to push each other. And draft does make a really, really big difference. I did speak about fuel strategy earlier on as well. We just had that caution. So now it's pretty much all reset. And we go, but they will need to pit again. So who needs to lead? Who wants to lead? More to the point. At the moment, it's the Rogue guys on the inside with the Sim boys on the middle line, and on the outside line, Pete Matson just still going, you know what, boys, I'm just going to keep running on the high line. So we're about to see where we go. We only got 20 into 100, so still 80 laps to go, and a lot to play out here, Steve.
Yeah, look, Pete Matson's doing a fantastic job on his own on the outside. He's got nobody running with him for draft. So nobody's giving him a push, and he's just hanging in there with that front few cars. So he's actually sitting in around 5th place at the moment. But obviously the positions move back and forward because he's in a bunch of cars. We're doing pack racing here. It's Talladega, and the boys are really they've put on a fantastic show so far. As we see, Derek Jacobs now has moved up in behind Pete Matson. He's come from absolutely nowhere to be at the front on the far outside there at the moment. It can be a dangerous spot to be on that outside. If something happens in front of you, you've got nowhere to go. That inside line is at least gives you the option to head off to the apron or the infield to try and avoid an accident. But where Pete Matson and Derek Jacobs are at the moment, and Adam St John up there as well in behind Derek Jacobs at the moment. So they're travelling together. Matson's actually, have we got a bit of a touch there? I think that was...
Don't be a caution. Keep playing on, play on.
We're still green. We're still green. The boys are still going for it, as we see Shannon Wright, who has paid the price there, but he's got a fast repair, so hopefully you'll get that fixed, get back out on track and not actually lose anything. Now I'm just taking a look. Adam St John's a little bit loose in the aero wash up the top on that outside, and as the Everything Simulated car moves up on him, he's moved down. He's not spotted. He's not spotted that Everything Simulated car there, and he's come down to move into that mid lane, not realising I think there was somebody there, and has forced him to come together with Shannon Wright.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there, Steve. You can see him getting a bit loose out of 3 to 4, and he's just come down straight across the front of Shannon Wright. As we look at that instant replay, Shannon's not going to be happy with that one. A major sponsor, and we'll have a chat with Shannon later in the evening when we do bring this broadcast to an end, and everyone tuning in here for round 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series. We do appreciate you joining in as Kay Donnelly is leading the way, but we will have a big chat to Shannon later tonight, Steve, and he is the man behind Everything Simulated, so we'll have a chat to him. Not the way that his night wanted to end, but 23 into 100, it is Kay Donnelly leading the way, and now Maxfield on the outside in the 16 or 166 there of Luke Keamy, and we're going 3 wide into 3 and 4 here at Talladega. The guys don't know how to just relax. They want to go 3 or 4 wide. We're 23 into 100, not even a quarter way through, and everyone wants to lead this race. Do they all want to talk to us, Steve, at the end of the race? Is that what it's about?
I've got a feeling that there's something going on. It's just, I think they think it's the last throw of the dice. We've got some recruitment races coming up, and then the summer series comes around in November. But this is season 1. It's the final round of a championship, and I think everybody's just pumped to try and get the best possible finish. Apart from a series championship and series podiums, there's also bragging rights here. I mean, if you can win this one, you can say, I won at Talladega. I won a round of the championship. Regardless of where you finish in the championship, it's bragging rights, Aiden.
Yeah, 100%. It's the old demeasuring contest. But, 100%. It's always good to forget my rubbish, but it's always good to end the season on a high note, and it's always good to be able to have a good result wherever you are in the championship. Of course, super speedways create a totally different style of racing, and we're going to sit here for the next 60 laps and try and bring that to you, which we're doing. But the guys have done a great job, and they've done 12 rounds before this to get themselves in a position to be able to have this racing for 3 wide here out of 1 and 2 in Talladega. As I said, Gary Wellman, he is your championship leader. He's nowhere near the front at the moment, but his teammate of Kay Donnelly doing a great job there up in P number 1, getting pushed really hard by Rick Vincent. Rick Vincent, I'll just mention this, Steve. Rick Vincent coming off a good result last week, and spoke to us in the championship booth. He's doing a great job, or in the broadcast booth rather, doing a great job as well, and he's trying to make the move to the front, and it looks like he's almost going to get that done, but he's got no help. If he drops down, there we go. So Rick Vincent doing a great job as well, as Cade Donnelly is going to help him along on the inside line. So Rick Vincent, after coming off a really strong race last week, he's doing a great job leading the race.
Well, I've got to mention somebody else who's running at the front, and he's actually been at the pointy end in that pack for most of the race, if not all of it, and that's Luke Keamy in the 166 car, that black car with the green stripes and purple wheels. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment, and he's exactly where he wants to be, and he's got Chris Finlay behind him from Symbol.
Yeah, got you. So, Chris Finlay there in the background as well before we lost Steve. So, at the moment, we are too wide down the front stretch here at Talladega. So, Kobe, mate, I won't actually talk to you. I don't need to hear from you in the background. But at the moment, Cade Donnelly leading the way. Rick Vincent just blowing off there in that mid-line. Pete Matson trying to hold that third line. We're 27 into 100, so a long way to go. We might take this opportunity really quickly because it feels like we've got a little bit of intermittent issues in the background. Steve might have had some internet issues, but at the moment it is Vincent, Donnelly and Keamy leading your way 27 into 100. We might go and just play a little couple of ads and we'll come back and we'll bring you all the action here for round number 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And welcome back to round 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Series, and a major buffer on my internet, so that's something that has now sorted itself out. But we've got Luke Keamy down on the inside there, and he's fighting Chris Finlay in the 104 car. He's got Rick Vincent in behind him. Pete Matson still on the outside there, and Cade Donnelly still featuring at the front of this pack. And I see Derek Jacobs in the 27 car, and he's getting the job done as well back there, as Rick Vincent still giving a really good push to Chris Finlay in that yellow and black Simboys car. And now Vincent's gone side by side with him, and he's actually split. Matson and Finlay got a fantastic run all the way to the front and dropped down in front of Luke Keamy. And so we've got Rick Vincent in charge of this one at the moment on lap 30 of 100 from Talladega Super Speedway in Alabama, as I see the 099 Rogue SimSports car, and that I believe is Kim Roffey, and his first round of the championship, and he's made his way up into about 4th or 5th there at the moment as the positions continue to change. Derek Jacobs from the US in behind Kim Roffey in that purple and black road car, and the boys just continually hammering away at this. It's more like a 30-lap sprint race, but we're on lap 30 of 100. And I hope you're enjoying this racing. Give it a like. If you're out there watching, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our action or upcoming races, as we've got plenty to come in our summer series. And looking at the track conditions at the moment, at 101 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a hot one out there on the track temp, 79 degrees air temp. And for those of you living in a metric world, that's around mid-20s air temp and somewhere around the 35, 40 degree mark for track temperature. So what that's going to do is just make things a little bit slippery out there. Those tyres are not very heat friendly, I suppose would be the best way to go about it. And we're just going to see. Is Aidan there? Can you come in? Can you give us some comments?
I'm here, mate. I'm here. I've been here for the last 10 minutes. Anyway.
Good, I need water.
Yeah, no, you did a great job, mate. But having a look on the outside there, Derek Jacobs, he's really wanting to make his way up to the front. So he's wanting to get that job done around the outside of Pete Madsen. He's not going to be able to because he doesn't have the draft. He may actually in the 27. But funny you say that. We'll just settle it back. We've seen Derek Jacobs early in this race. We're only 32 into 100. We've seen him make his way up to the front. He's tried to push people to the front. He's done that. And you can see Team Watson Racing setups on the front of his car as well. So he's definitely no mug. Inside Lane Productions down the left-hand side as well. He's sort of managing his race. We've only spoken to him once this season in the broadcast booth from getting a podium. He's in America, obviously, and or United States of America, and it's really early there for them. But he'll be happy to be there in that position so far. So doing a great job. He is a big supporter of everything Australian through the iRacing network as well, i.e. being a part of Kobe's team with Inside Lane Productions, and then obviously TWR with the setups as well through the American landscape. He's just a stalwart of the iRacing landscape and doing a great job there on the outside of the third row. And he's definitely no, as I say it, Steve, he's no... What do you say? No secret in the super speedways, because he's given me a super speedway set up at Daytona to make me take pole in Daytona 500. So he's definitely not shy to that, but he's now going to take the lead and get that bonus point into 1 and 2. So that high line really, really working good at the moment, and we're going to stay 3 wide here, 34 into 100. So we'll just go on board here with the car in behind Gary Wellman, your championship leader, and we'll see what it looks like 3 wide here at the helm around Talladega here for round number 13.
Yeah, sitting right in behind the man of the moment, Gary Wellman, leading this championship, gets very loose in the aero wash there, sitting in second row. 3 wide at the moment. Madsen sitting in the middle, and Wellman sitting right in behind Derek Jacobs, and he's got Shane Roffey in behind him in that orange and black road car, and plenty of road cars around him there also. Craig Roffey, one of our podium contenders for the championship, and he's fighting for a second place in this championship. Second and third still up for grabs. Of course, Craig, one of the 3 or 4 guys that could actually pick up a series podium tonight. And there's only about 3 or 4 of them. And in fact, Troy Davidson, who I have not seen yet, was an outside chance of this. But I don't think we've got Troy in the race. I don't recall seeing him, but he's in there somewhere, but I haven't seen him spotted yet. He'll be in a red Simboys car, as he usually is, as we take a look at Troy Mortensen in the number 83. And that's another story in the championship as well. He's going for a top 5 in the series tonight. Can't make the podium, but he's had a fantastic series. He's just slowly eaten away at it and put himself in a position for a top 5 in the championship, Aidan.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job all season, Steve. He's been up there or up thereabouts, and he's had a couple of good results in the top 5. And tonight at a super speedway, as obviously we've touched on numerous occasions at Talladega, anything can happen. But Troy Mortensen, as you just mentioned, doing a great job up in the top 10 in the point standings. There was still 3 wide here into turn 3 and 4 with, looks like Derek Jacobs on the outside there. And it is status quo there with Pete Matson and on the inside Roffey. So the guys are very, very happy to run 3 wide very, very early into this one, 36 into 100. Big push on the outside line there for Derek Jacobs, trying to get the job done. So 37 now into 100. We're still 3 wide at the front. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Steve. I don't think any of the people we're talking about in the top 7 or 8 at the moment are going to win this race. But we'll see what happens. 37 into 100 down the back stretch here at Talladega.
Yeah. Fantastic push there from Craig Roffey on Derek Jacobs, as you mentioned, and Kim Roffey giving Peter Matson a lot of help there, and Kim's actually got 2 of his teammates spaced out behind him, not necessarily right up behind him and pushing, as Matson opens a 1.5 car length gap over that purple car, as Rick Vincent continues to run on the inside with Luke Creamy right behind him, and Kay Donnelly, then Todd Maxfield on that inside line. So that's the 4 on the inside there.
We see, sorry to cut you off there, Steve. We see Gary Wellman there down on the mid. Oh, no, sorry, that's the Road Boys. Sorry, my apologies. That's Roffey down on the midline. But what we're going to see is a little bit of a different strategy here, right? So just hear me out. So we're 38 into 100. Fuel strategy is going to be a big part. You can see at the moment Pete Matson wanting to lead the race. We've seen Roffey's at the point wanting to lead the race. They're using more fuel. All right, so we're going to have one more fuel stop because we've already had 1 caution. So I'd suggest one more fuel stop before we go green to the end if we don't have another caution. You can't rely on that last caution as there's someone through pit lane there. You can't rely on that last caution. You need to run your race the way you want to run your race. If you get a last caution, you deal with that when that happens. So right now, people are running their fuel strategy as the car comes out of pit lane. I'm not quite sure who that is. And they're going to want to be able to make sure they are stationary less in pit lane, because we already spoke about tyres. It's not going to be a big thing on tyres. So are we going to be stationary for less than my competitors? Or am I going to be able to take tyres because my fuel is long enough? So a lot of strategies to play out. It may look like they just turned left at 100 mile an hour, but a lot to play out, as you can see at the moment with Pete Matson leading the way, and the everything stimulated car on the outside of turn or through the tri-oval is going to take the lead. So a lot to play out there, Steve-O.
Yeah, absolutely. And just taking a look at some of the stats in this at the moment, the amount of pit stops for the guys is pretty much everybody has done 1 pit stop except Gary Wellman and Chris Finlay, both of the Sim boys. Everybody else, I believe, has done 1 pit stop, which would have been on that caution on lap 14. So looking at lap, 30... Sorry, lap 40 now. We've done 26 laps on this tank of fuel. I would expect, without a caution, to start seeing some green flag stops, and there goes Peter Matson into the pits now.
Yeah, definitely. So he didn't pit through that first caution, so that's him down through pit lane. And that's exactly what I was saying with the different fuel strategies. So Pete Matson coming out of the lead of the motor race, lap 41 into 100, he's had to blink and get some fuel. So that's not going to be really beneficial for his race. We have seen a caution 16 laps in. We'll probably see another one, but at the moment 41 into 100. It is the 48 or 45 there of the Sim Boys car. Not sure who that is because I don't have live timing. So
45 is Gary Wellman.
Yeah, Gary Wellman up to the front. So I do apologise, Gary, if you're watching. But big run there from Roffey, and that nearly went really pear-shaped through 3 and 4 here at Talladega, Steve.
And Derek Jacobs side by side with Wellman there, pushing for the lead of this one with Kate Donnelly right in behind him and Todd Maxfield in behind him. 3 cars back on that outside line as Matson attempts to rejoin, but he's going to go a lap down now. So what I'm suggesting is Matson is possibly going for an undercut here. He knows that if he's got to pit, everybody else will have to soon, and he now doesn't have to pit for at least 20 to 30 laps. So he actually may get an advantage out of this as he jumps in behind Rick Vincent midfield.
Yeah, look, not the best strategy here, I believe, in my own personal opinion, with Pete Matson, but he can sit in there at the moment and just save some fuel, and hopefully, as we can see at the moment, the Everything Simulated car there of Shannon Wright
Yep.
through pit lane. He
And here
got
they
caught
come.
up in that incident really, really early, and now they all come through pit lane. And here we go. So it wasn't that far away from Pete Matson. So different strategy. Here we go as they all come down to pit lane.
Yeah, so I'm seeing Tony Roffey, Shane Roffey, Craig Roffey, Rick Vincent, Tristan Koch, Troy Mortensen in there as well. And this is where it gets interesting, folks, because those guys will all come out together. They'll have the benefit of the draft, whereas Matson came out on his own, was able to rejoin mid-pack or midfield, and now sits at the front. But because he had to rejoin behind the leaders, it effectively puts him a lap down, and Derek Jacobs now into the pits.
DJ Rusbus into the pits after leading the race. So this is the last of the pitters coming into pit lane. At the moment, we're on the exit of pit lane, but now we're on the entry. So Derek Jacobs now into pit lane, but Gary Wellman, he was up there, DJ up there. Oh, we got green flag pit stops, 44 into 100. This is what Super Speedways bring, and we're about to see who's going to lead the way here with 44, 45 into 100. Tristan Koch there on the exit of 1 and 2 here at Talladega. Everyone getting all sped up. I'm getting excited, mate. You need to calm me down. 44 into 100. You know, you've commentated with me a long time. I'm getting excited. You watch the draft here with Tristan Koch. He'll pull right up onto the back of the car in front of him. You might see cars down into the distance at the moment, but it won't stay that way for very long, ladies and gentlemen. They will pull up right onto the back of the cars in front, and we're about to see some 50-lap action here at Talladega as the 550 of Tristan Koch goes through the oval or the tri-oval. But at the moment, let's go back to your leader, Gary Wellman, Cade Donnelly. And that's what it looks like at the front. So they've gone through their pit stop at the moment, and we've got a 6-car battle at the front. They're taking away over Jamie Nankervis, or Jamie Nankervis is there, Williams and Matson. So the pit lane strategy, it was so essential for them to get through there. Pete Matson, I believe, was one of the biggest gainers there after leading the way. And got through pit lane as well, but Gary Wellman, your championship leader, is not your championship leader and your championship elect for not being in first position. He's leading the way at the moment as now they go into pit lane. So there we go. I thought they'd already been through pit lane. So there we go, Steve.
Yep, no, we've got the final pack of cars now. I thought these guys had already been through, but obviously that's not the case. Now, unless the Sim boys have got something up their sleeve and they've organised it between themselves, and I believe that was one of the Everything Simulated cars there, possibly Jamie Nankervis, who's actually gone in there and followed them in. But yeah, one of the Everything Simulated cars, the Valve Esports cars, has gone in, and the Sim boys, yeah, I thought some of these guys had already pitted, but they might actually just be working on something a little bit sly with 45 laps down out of 100.
Yeah, well, that was the difference thing with Pete Matson. So Pete, as you saw earlier, and he'll probably take the lead of this motor race with him pitting earlier and get the job done in that regard. Early on, only 45 into 100 as Gary Wellman has a great pit stop there and makes his way out of pit lane. You can see he's going to get into a big jungle of cars into 1 and 2. He'll be all right as he comes out of 1 and 2 this time around. But you did see earlier, though, that we did see Pete Matson did come through pit lane, Steve. So
we had our doubts about his strategy, but it's obviously working for him at the moment.
I don't know about that, mate. And it's working on track position, and the leaderboard doesn't really show it at the moment. We'll let that come back to timing when we do that. I'm not sure though, Steve-o. Like, he's pitted a couple of laps early, and that's all good. If it's so draft dependent here around Talladega, right? So if you're running by yourself, you're going to lose a second and a half a lap. Like, it's just going to happen. He pitted early because he didn't pit under that first caution. So he had no choice. He had to pit. But then he comes out now and takes the lead of the motor race. He doesn't have the draft. Yes, they both need to pit as well. Like, both this group that you see in front need to pit. So does Pete. But he's going to be stationary longer and he's got no help and a lap down. So not sure whether that's going to be the right strategy for Pete. But at the moment, let's just go back to the front. And Rick Vincent, I tell you what a man in his supercar on the ovals. He's up there every single week. We spoke to him here in the broadcast, second place last week in the 94 Rogue Sim Racing cars. It's Rogue 1, 2, 3 at the moment, and Pete Matson on the outside. So we're now 47 into 100 here at Talladega. It looks like it's an 8 or 9 car group at the front, and a long way to go, but it's definitely Rogue at the front this time for round number 13.
Oh, yeah, look, we've got plenty of Rogue cars out there. They're working well together tonight, the Rogue boys. As we see, the inside line is 1, 2, 3 and 4 of Rogue cars. Pete Matson is being tailed by Paul Drady there at the moment, the 129 carbon and fibre Commodore. And Matson drops down in front of Rick Vincent. So Matson holding on to the lead of this race with Drady coming up behind on the outside. So Drady, Matson, Vincent, Pritchard, Barber, Roffey, Craig Roffey, Shane Roffey, Jamie Nankervis, we haven't really spoken about tonight. One of the other guys, one of the three guys that can actually take out a second or third in the championship tonight. And he's been pushed back to 8th. But Derek Jacobs and Troy Mortensen, that's your top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, have a look at this on the outside though, Steve. You've got Andy Barber. Why is he trying to run on the outside there of his teammate? No idea what he's doing there, trying to run on the outside of his teammate Tom Pritchard. They need to push up on the outside, and they're going to try and take the lead of this race. So, yeah, that was interesting by Andy there. He nearly took out his teammate, but that's all right. They keep going as they're on the outside here. Pete Matson second, Drady, Barber, as we were just on board with. They're trying to get a run around the outside there, which they're doing a great job with if they just sort of... It looks like that middle to inside line is a little bit stronger, Steve, at the moment, because you and I, we raced around Andy and Tom, and they're just falling in behind Drady at the moment now and going to try and just sit in behind that draft because it's allowing the pack in behind them as well. If you have a look in behind, if we go back to your 8th, 9th position, they are going to... They're catching at a hard race of knots in behind that front group. So the more that those guys were fighting, it's allowing these guys to come back up into the contention for the race. But Steve, we saw that, and we can see that right now. As look, they're now
there we go.
And we're caution.
And Matson and Drady involved in that one.
Just
Unfortunately,
as I segue into a good bit of commentary, I get a crash.
So, yeah, Matson and Drady coming together in that one. We'll take a closer look at it, just see exactly what happened. Now, this has occurred with Pritchard and Barber on the outside. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Andy and Tom have actually avoided this or been contacted when this actually takes place here. But I'm not sure what's actually occurred. So at this point, there's plenty of racing room there. I think Matson's come together with Drady. It looks like it's just about to happen. Drady on the middle line there, and just trying to see what could possibly have happened, unless Pritchard has given an odd bump and just upset Paul Drady's car. As we just wait for this to happen, and there we go. Matson's moved up the track a bit and contacted with Drady, and both of those guys are now going to need that fast repair because, yeah, we'll just see who else might have actually copped some collateral damage out of that because there were cars coming through behind them, and I think Drady ended up down in front of one of them. We'll just take a look at who that may have been. And I think it was Derek Jacobs actually contacted Paul Drady on the way through.
Yeah, so his night's gone from good to bad in the 27, unfortunately. There,
He's avoided him, and
through. So
and
actually,
Tristo's actually gone around him as well. So great bit of avoidance there from Derek Jacobs and Tristo Koch.
Steve-O, let's take a chance. We're under caution, right? Let's have a chat to one of our drivers.
Well, not one of the guys in the accident, please.
No, we'll move him up. Good evening to you, Derek. Sorry to bring you up into the booth, mate. I tell you what, shit stains on your pants through that moment. Doing a great job in the 27 tonight. Thank you for allowing us. Well, actually, I don't say thank you because I just brought you up in the booth. But good evening to you, mate. You're doing a great job, and bet your shit stains across your pants were going crazy right then.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row I've dodged tonight, so luck's on my side. Let's keep our fingers crossed I can continue another 48 laps with the same luck to get this number 27 inside lane Productions Ford Mustang in victory lane tonight.
Well, hopefully you do, mate. We spoke to you in the broadcast booth just a couple of weeks ago when you got a podium, mate. Absolute legend out of the United States. We enjoy you making yourself available here for the Australian Leagues. It's a different time zone for you, so it's stupid o'clock in the morning. But we got to give you some time and a big time to shout out, mate. So what time is it across there in the US, and have a chat to you under caution?
If I was to guess right now without taking my headset off, I would say it's probably about 3:30 in the morning. It would be my guess. So I haven't got a yell from my wife, so she doesn't know I'm still up. So we'll just try to keep it down tonight and see if we can have a good end of the run and celebrate quietly.
Certainly appreciate you making time for it, mate. It's such a horrible hour of the day. Started 7th, currently 7th, and you're credited with leading a lap. So so far so good, mate, and we've only just passed the halfway mark.
Yeah, just kind of playing around, really. I mean, the draft in these cars is ridiculously insane. I mean, you can come I went from the very last car to the very front on the outside within 3/4 of one lap. So it's you can really move your car around, and if the lanes are open, you can shake and bake, I would say.
Sorry, Steve. What's your plan for the rest of the race here, Derek? Are you wanting to lead at the front and sort of go and run that way, or are you happy to sit at the back and just have that 2-3 lap run at the end?
Yeah, my goal actually tonight is I'm going to try to help my buddy Troy out, get him up here and his best finish he can possibly get, and I think he deserves it. So him and Tristo are kind of just sitting in Discord here, so it's kind of going to help those guys. I'm not in it for the playoff or championship or anything, so I'm just here to have a little bit of fun and watch these guys roll around at 180 miles an hour and try to dodge them all.
Well, mate, best of luck. You're about to go green. We'll put you back down with your teammates and with your friends. Best of luck. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of 27 of Derek Jacobs out of the United States of America. Best of luck, my friend, and hopefully we're talking to you at the end.
Thanks, mate. You guys have a good broadcast.
All the best to you, Derek.
See you, Steve-O.
All righty.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Steve, talking over. You can bring us to the green. I've done a lot of talking. There's our American friend, the 27 of Derek Jacobs. He'll be there or thereabout, but at the moment it will be Andy Barber bringing us off the pole.
Yep, Andy Barber in the 20 car with the Water Creek whiskey, I believe it is, and he's got Rick Vincent on his outside as we see the pace truck actually pull off, and Tom Pritchard sitting in behind Andy, so the two teammates there working together from Southern Stars Racing. And as we come around through turn 4 towards that tri-oval, Andy will have control of the field. I see Craig Roffey, third car back there on the inside. And Jamie Nankervis, I think it is, sitting in behind Rick Vincent. And the foot is down. Andy's gotten a good start. Opened up about another 1.5 car lead over his teammate Tom Pritchard. and Rick Vincent drops into third behind Tom and takes Jamie Nankervis with him. Craig Roffey drops back a spot there, and he's actually got one of his teammates, Shane Roffey, with him.
Yeah, Andy doing a great job at the moment as Roffies. They'll be there or thereabouts. They're obviously up in the championship. They have won the championship previously. Tom Pritchard in the 6 car. A big push on the back of Andy Barber into 1 and 2 here at Talladega. No surprise to see that. They are teammates. You got the whiskey business and Tom Pritchard in 1 and 2. Tom really, really good at super speedways as well. I know we're not going to get too excited. 54 into 100, Rick Vincent, Roffey, Maxfield, Nankervis, Craig Roffey, Mortensen in 8, Roffey and Jacobs, who we spoke to through the caution period, just sitting back there in the 10th position. So 55 into 100. This is a game of chess, ladies and gentlemen. So anyone who has not watched super speedway racing, and it's actually what I hate about super speedway racing, but that's my only opinion, it's the game before the race starts. So you're always just there in behind the draft, getting into position. You can get into a incident when someone else crashes and you've got nowhere else to go, race over. That's fine. That's racing. But it's going to be the last couple of laps or the last pit stop. So at the moment, they're just sort of segregating their way into a position where they need to be. At the moment, that's Maxfield at the front over Roffey, Mortensen, Wright, Vincent, Barber, your 6. But 2 or 3 wide, Steve. Game of chess here at Talladega, 55 into 100. Long way to go. We saw that previously with the green flag pit stop with the different strategy, and we had a 6 or 7 car breakaway, and then we had that caution. So have they learnt something through this position of the race? And as pretty much the whole field now is nearly 2 or 3 wide going down the back stretch.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I just saw Rick Vincent pull out, and he and Troy Mortensen came very, very close to one another. And I thought that was going to go sideways in a big fashion, but it all worked out fine. And we've got Rick Vincent challenging Todd Maxfield for the lead at the moment, side by side, and Kim Roffey in behind Rick Vincent. Troy Mortensen in behind Todd Maxfield, although about nearly 2 car lengths back. He's slowly closing the gap on Todd at the moment. And we are 3 wide. Peter Matson on the outside there must have used that fast repair because that car looks pretty quick. And he's actually challenging for the lead as well. So 3 wide for the lead of this one at Talladega.
Yeah, 3 wide down the back stretch. And it is the Roffies on the mid side. Vincent, in the midline. On the inside there as well is, I'm not sure who that is, that might be Maxfield, and 3 wide down the back straight, but I tell you what, they are not holding back here. The final round, round 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series, they're not holding back at the moment. Vincent, after podium last week, he's wanting to lead this one. We're only 57 into 100 though, Steve, so a long way to go. Tristan Koch there, third back on the outside line. What a great job by Tristo tonight, doing a great job up inside the top 6 on the outside, third row back. And I tell you what, I remember earlier I did say, who is at the front's not going to win this one, and I'll guarantee you it's not going to be the case. As we look how easy it is there on the inside there, third row back, to just get, and Maxfield just get out of the draft. But the whole field, anyone can win this. We're 58 into 100. It's the final round before we go into the next season. We've already had our championship, Steve. We're already had our champion. That's done. That's done and dusted. We'll talk about that. But we need bragging rights going into season number 2 next season. And at the moment, it is Vincent leading the way. And that man on the outside there, again, Mr. Pete Matson, he doesn't want to sit at the back either, Steve. He wants to run on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. He's there to win tonight. Pete Matson driving fantastic. It was just a little bit unfortunate that he had that coming together with Paul Drady earlier.
Yeah, unfortunate with that incident with him earlier. He got that fast repair done and he's making his way up to the front at the moment. So he's going to take the lead across the start-finish line. If we can bring the tower up, Cobes, whenever you can, just because I don't have live timing, and I'm sorry, I know you fucking hate it. Sorry to swear. Got it. So Vincent and Roffey and Wright, sorry to swear there, ladies and gentlemen, but Vincent, Roffey and Wright, your three at the top with Koshi. Koshi up into the 5th place, so he seems nice and content there at the moment, Steve, to just run on that outside line. And we've got a bit of fuel strategy coming on, as we said as well too. So at the moment, Vincent using all the fuel at the front. Is his teammate Roffey going to come down pit lane at the same time? We're about to find out in the next 20 or 30 laps. But at the moment, we're 50 or 60 in. Let's take the opportunity. Let's go have a chat to some of our sponsors. Let's go show it and do that before we bring you the final 30 laps here at Talladega Super Speedway for what is round 13 of the Oz Oval Series here on Quasi Esports.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You served and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Yeah, welcome back to round 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval V8 Supercar Oval Racing Series. That's a mouthful. And we are on lap 65 of 100, and we're looking at one of the Everything Simulated cars there at the front. It's Shannon Wright, would you believe, in first position. And after wrecking the car earlier, Shannon has managed to fight his way to the front. Fantastic effort from Shannon Wright, sponsor of the series, in that everything simulated Commodore. And he's got Rick Vincent in behind him, Tristan Koch on the outside with Troy Mortensen behind him. And those two guys are shooting for the minor placings inside the top 10 of the championship, both shooting for a top 5 and hoping that things can go their way, and they're in the perfect position to take advantage of that at the moment, with Peter Matson in behind him on the outside, and Derek Jacobs gone 3 wide, running around the outside, just going past Troy Mortensen at the moment, side by side with Tristan Koch in the 550 car, and the number 27, and he's still side by side with Tristo, and he makes his way to the front on that outside line and takes the lead of the race. Derek Jacobs from the US in the number 27 car.
Yeah, Derek Jacobs, who we spoke about earlier on, or just before under caution, he was happy to sit back in the back into the positions, and he's made his way forward at the moment. And everything simulated at the front there. On the inside, as we spoke about with Shannon. But it's anyone's at the moment, Steve. We're 68 into 100, so 32 to go. It's all about the play out with 3 wide. Pete Matson wanted to make it 3 wide on the outside there, Steve, with 32 laps to go. It's the final round 13 of the Oz Oval Supercar Series here on the platforms of Quadzi Esports. But I reckon Derek's got something here tonight, Steve. I reckon he sounded really, really calm when we were talking to him. I think he's got something. I think we might see him in victory lane, as Shannon Wright is still leading the way and being pushed by the Roffy there on the inside in second place on the bottom line.
Yeah, that's Rick Vincent in behind him in the number 94 car with a Roffy behind him, and there's plenty of them towards the front of this field. And what I'm not seeing at the moment in the front of this front half of this field of 21 cars is our champion-elect, Mr. Gary Wellman. I can see everybody else around him who's fighting for a second or third in the championship. But Gary hanging back there at the moment. There he is towards the rear. He's quite happy to do that at the moment. He knows he doesn't have to win this. So he's circulating quite well at the moment. He's been at the front, and he's quite happy to sit there at the back at the moment, knowing full well he doesn't have to win to actually clean up the championship, and still knowing that there's still 32 laps to go and anything's possible.
Yeah, 100%, mate. But at the front of the race at the moment, 68 into 100. Shannon Wright doing a great job at the lead. Gary Wellman in the middle lane there, I believe. I'm sorry, that's not Gary Wellman. That is Derek Jacobs. So Derek still staying on the inside line, and on the outside line, Pete Matson still doing a great job. So a lot to play out here. 69 into 100. What do you reckon? What do you think's going through the people's thoughts at the moment, or the drivers' thoughts at the moment, Steve? So we've got 3 wide racing at the moment, led by Shannon Wright. We've got Pete Matson on the outside, Derek Jacobs from the United States, and the United States of America on the inside. With 3 wide here, 30 laps to go. What do you think's going through the driver's mind? Are they going to want to settle in? What we've seen tonight, it doesn't feel like they are willing to settle in, but at the same time they are. So what do you think's going to happen as Derek Jacobs really trying to make the run up the midline there to try and take the lead? Shannon Wright's not going to have a bar of that into 1 and 2 this time as we go 3 wide on the outside. Pete Matson's been really, really happy to run on that third line all night. We've pretty much seen him there, and he's done a good job doing that. He got caught up in an incident earlier, but where do you think the win's going to come from, Steve?
Yeah, okay, great question. As far as what, going back a few questions, what is going through their minds? Don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. Yeah, look, they're concentrating on what they're doing. They're keeping an eye on the cars around them. They know that there's still 30 laps to go in this one, and they're all just simply trying to get a position that they're happy with, hang on to it, and put themselves in a position so when we get to that last 10 to 20 laps, they can start to make a bit of a charge. those at the front are just going to want to hold the positions. Pete Matson challenging again on the outside, but Shannon Wright continues to lead this from Rick Vincent, Derek Jacobs, Tristan Koch, Kim Roffey. I mean, look, just pick one. You know, you could throw a blanket over the guys at the front half of the field and say, yeah, it's going to be one of them.
Yeah, 100%. And that's my first time I've said 100% tonight too, Steve. That's usually my go-to. But in the 3 and 4, Rick Vincent pushing really hard on the outside there of Shannon Wright. Really a big push in the 3 and 4. You can see Derek Jacobs just holding that mid-side line. And, of course, on that outside line, you've got Pete Matson. He's really wanting to hold that outside line. He's got no one to help him at the moment. So this goes to show the checkup and everything you have here for Pete Matson to allow himself to drive around the outside, nearly into the lead of this motor race. He's now going to steady a little bit back as Tristan Koch moves up onto that third line. And we're going to go 3 wide, 3 deep down the back stretch here for lap number 72 at Talladega, Steve.
Yeah, look, this is just such a great race. We've had a 100 lapper, 72 into that, and we've had 2 cautions at Talladega. I don't want to jinx it, but this is just some fantastic green flag racing, Aiden.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's great. It's 3 wide racing. Pete Matson on the outside there. And I'll continue to say it as there was a little bit of swiggle moment there by Shannon Wright, just getting touched at the wrong point there on the exit by Rick Vincent. And you can see the 27 there on the inside, on the middle line, actually, of Derek Jacobs, still holding stead. But I'll tell you what, on the outside there, I need to keep making comment to him, Steve. And the only reason I do, because Pete Matson, he's got no one around him, and he keeps holding that outside line. The draft, you heard it from Derek Jacobs, the draft is so massive in these cars.
Well, I've got to say it because it gives Pete Matson a woody every time I say it. That's Pete Matson in the Orbic racing car. He loves to hear Orbic, 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 Orbic. He loves it. There you go. Peter Matson, and he's absolutely challenging for this in the Orbic 173 Commodore.
Well, not sure why he gets a woody, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. 73 into 100. The woodies are around the outside on the third way. He's doing good. Sorry, Pete. Sorry, mate. I'll apologise to you later, but we'll now call you Woody for the broadcast. Oh, there's the broadcast.
Oh, my Lord.
No.
Goodness gracious me.
We're just having fun with Pete Matson, and he's taken out by the 023.
How on earth? Shannon Wright just went from the inside lane to the outside lane in one foul swoop. Now, I'm guessing that there was a crook touch-up from Rick Vincent somewhere, somehow. I'm thinking Rick has... I see what's happened here. Yeah. Look, Shannon's actually moved up slightly to the right.
Oh, DJ Rustbus.
And then realised that Rick's taken advantage of that, and and Shannon's contacted Derek Jacobs and spun straight across into Pete Matson. So,
there for Shannon, really bad luck because he was having such a good race tonight.
Fantastic race. It's just simply what's happened is he's moved up a bit to the right. Rick Vincent, rightly so, has taken advantage of that and seen the space in front of him and gone for it. I've done it myself. There's room there. The car's moved what looks like to the middle lane, so you go for it and you just take off down that along that line on the inside lane. And Shannon, it looked like he was about to move back down and realised that Rick was in the way, so he's moved back up and possibly overturned it a little bit. Ended up contacting Derek Jacobs. So, yeah, very unfortunate for Shannon Wright. It'd be interesting to see what damage Peter Matson got out of that. I think Derek's come out of it okay, but I've got a feeling Pete Matson might have a little bit more damage.
Yeah, 100%. I think he will. Let's take the chance. We'll bring Shannon up into the broadcast booth. We will speak to him later, ladies and gentlemen, as the series sponsor from Everything Simulated. We'll bring him up unannounced, so he doesn't even know that you're going to hear him. So we'll bring him up. And we'll bring him up into the booth. And good evening to you, Shannon. Not the way we'd like to talk to you. What a great job tonight, leading the way. And unfortunate incident there, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, after all that time sitting on my own, I wasn't going to sit around anymore, mate. I thought I'll jump up and have a bit of a go, but yeah, she got a little bit dicey there. Once I moved up a little bit, it just, the position wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what I said, because you seemed to move to the right a bit, and Rick Vincent saw that gap open in front of him, took advantage of it, and then it's almost like you were about to move back down and realised there was a car there, and sort of gave him a bit of room, not realising how close you were to Derek Jacobs, and yeah, the rest is history, really.
Hey, that's exactly what happened, dude. But hey, it's racing. I enjoyed being up the front. It was good. It took a bit of draft and that, but I could see I was using a lot of fuel, so it'd be good coming back from the back again, conserve a bit, and see what we got towards the end.
Yeah, mate, you've led 12 laps, started 5th. You've obviously dropped down now, but you were leading, and it's credited you with leading 12 laps, but you obviously already used your fast repair on an earlier incident, is that right?
Yes, mate, on that one where it got hit from someone else, I think got pushed down into me from a crash. Not quite sure what happened.
Yeah.
And I got tagged, and I copped the front spoiler off it, and I thought, I was dropping to the leaders when I was looking, but I stayed out, and I thought, okay, if I fix the car, I should come back with a bit more pace.
What sort of repairs have you got? What time limit are you likely to put it on the transporter, or are you able to continue and finish off the last 20 odd laps?
No, mate, we'll see how we go. I've got a minute 30, so we'll see how we go. I'll play with the pace car.
Well, I hope to see you finish the race, mate. Get a bit of satisfaction out of at least completing the last round of the championship. And look, we'll let you go. We'll let you concentrate on that and try and get back in and see if you can actually do this last 20 odd laps. But we'll speak to you later post race, and good luck for the rest of the event.
Awesome, thanks, guys. Look forward to chatting to you.
No worries, mate. You have a good last 20 laps. We'll put you down into your channel if I can.
I'll try, mate. That's all I can do.
I'll try and put you down into your channel now. Just bear with me as we're about to go green.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Just before we go green.
I did it.
Yeah, just before we go green, good day to Sarah Kay sitting in the live chat, and good day to Leroy watching in Canberra. How you doing? A recent subscriber to the Quasi Esports channel, and we're going around one more time. The lights are off on the truck, and I believe we've got one more lap behind the pace truck, Aidan. So I'll let you talk us around and get us going under green.
Yeah, we do, and good evening to you, Sarah. Good evening to everyone tuning in across the platforms of the Quasi Oz Oval Supercar Series. And I'm not going to say a thing because there's chats going on in the background. And anyway, we're going to talk about the racing, and it is going to be Vincent and Roffey off the pole. Maxfield, Mortensen out of your 3 and 4, with Roffey out of 5. So, mate, what we've seen tonight, 77 out of 100, third caution tonight. I probably thought we would have seen some more. We haven't seen that. 23 laps to go around Talladega. Vincent's still at the lead. I did ask you this question, I think, earlier, going, who do you think's going to win it? We did see the likes of Pritchard and Barber come up to the front at some points. We've seen Mortensen up to the front at some point. We've seen Derek Jacobs, who was just in that incident, and he's still good to go at some point. But the common denominator at the moment is Vincent at the front. So what are we about to see? We don't know. Gary Wellman, you can see they're back, six back on the inside line. Your championship leader. Where's it going to come from? 77 into 100. We're about to go green flag racing. I'll let you answer that question once we come to green. But it will be Rick Vincent leading the way over Shane Roffey, your 1 and 2, as they make their way out of 3 and 4 here at Talladega Super Speedway. And Todd Maxfield, Troy Mortensen in the 4th position on the outside of the 2nd row. It will be Kim Roffey in 5th position, and another Roffey in 6th and a 099. So we're about to come into the restart zone, the Geico restart zone. It will be Vincent over Roffey, Maxfield and Mortensen to the green. We are green now for the 3rd time tonight. And Rick Vincent, not a good jump there on the inside line. It looks like Roffey's going to make his way around into the 1st position there. And that team orders there in the 1 and 2 position. So Shane Roffey dropping down in front of Rick Vincent. Troy Mortensen trying to hold on the outside of turn number 1 and 2, but there's team orders straight off the start here, 78 into 100, Steve.
Yeah, look, the dark horse in amongst all this is that car on the left-hand side of screen, the white car with the blue roof. That's 169. That's a newcomer to the series, Adamson John. And I'm going to call him a bit of a dark horse there at the moment. As far as, I'm not going to jinx anybody by picking him as the winner of this one, but I got a feeling it's going to come from one of those cars that are sitting somewhere in that first 2 or 3 rows at the moment. Craig Roffey, don't write him off. They're coming together now. Oh, my goodness. It's Wellman and Roffey touching and swapping a bit of paint on the outside. And Tristo Koch has just put skid marks in his driving suit.
Yeah, 100%. They will be, and there's my 100% as well. But Gary Wellman on the 45, they're trying to make this third line work on the outside, and we saw this earlier. Gary Wellman will move up in front of Tristan Koch. It looks like the road car as well. Oh, they're not willing to work together. This is not going to end well tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 79 into 100. I thought they were trying to work together, and we didn't see that happen as Gary Wellman went straight down to the middle line. And that's going to create the second line on the inside. Gary Wellman still holding fast on the outside. Tristan Koch in the back as well. So is the third line going to be able to work? And we're going to see that a lot to play out. I tell you what, I'm getting too excited too early, Steve.
Look, we started with 20. We started with 21. We still got 21. This is just fantastic racing right throughout the field. And with Shannon Wright just simply out there trying to finish this one and get it over with. I think he's had his run at the front. He was really happy to be there and did a fantastic job. And good on Shannon for getting back out there. It would have been very difficult and disheartening to actually do that. But we are 4 wide at the front. And Tristan Koch actually pushing his nose in front. You've got Tony Roffey coming out of absolutely nowhere at the moment in that middle lane with Craig Roffey in behind him as Troy Mortensen fights really hard with Gary Wellman in behind him, and then 2 Roffey cars in behind him.
20 to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. Troy Mortensen leading the way. We went 4 wide into 3 and 4 here at Talladega. Nothing different here into 1 and 2. We're 3 wide with 20 laps to go, and it is Tony Roffey over Mortensen, Roffey and Wellman. You're 4. Tristan Koch doing a great job. He's holding that outside line, and we're still 3 wide down the backstretch here at Talladega. Tristan Koch holding the outside line, getting a big push by the 27 there, Derek Jacobs. Are they going to be able to get the job done? No, they're not. And we're still 3 wide here. Turn through turns number 3 and 4. Tristan Koch and Derek Jacobs trying to get the run on the outside. They couldn't get the job done that way, or that time through 3 and 4. Down on the bottom, it still is Troy Mortensen being happy to lead the race over Gary Wellman there in 1 and 2 on the low line. In the middle line as well is Roffey. So we're going to continue 3 wide here, 19 laps to go. I don't think it's going to change. It's going to be status quo. Is it going to be first, second or third row? Who's going to take the win here tonight? Still 19 laps to go, and on the outside, I tell you what, Tristan Koch wanting to make his way to the front, but it is Mortensen at the lead on the bottom line as he gets a little bit of a shove there by Gary Wellman, and that's going to unsettle him and allow that mid-line to really get a lot of speed there as Tristan Koch on the outside as well. You can tell I'm getting excited, Steve, so feel free to jump in and talk over me. But at the moment, Mortensen, a big rub there on the middle line as well by the 85 and Koch. So 3 wide, Talladega Super Speedway, 18 laps to go. Who's going to take away the 13th and final round here for the Oz Oval Series here on the platforms of Quasi Esports?
Well,
who's going to take it out?
If determination and effort's got anything to do with it, Troy Mortensen absolutely driving the wheels off this Mustang with Gary Wellman right behind him, the man who's going to win the championship. And Tony Roffey in the middle there with Craig Roffey right behind him, and then Todd Maxfield in behind him in that centre line. And then I believe that's Rick Vincent in behind that Simboys car of the number 16 of Todd Maxfield. And on the outside line, obviously Tristan Koch holding his own with Derek Jacobs from the US right behind him. And it's it's a horrible time of the morning over there, but Derek's getting the job done. Fantastic stuff. And then two everything simulated cars in behind. It's just absolutely full on here, and I just can't believe that we've still got this sort of racing after so many laps, 17 to go, and we are 4 wide. Rick Vincent's managed to get his way to the front. How on earth he's done that, I've got no idea.
Yeah, we were nearly 4 wide there into 1 and 2 at Talladega Super Speedway. We're now 3 wide. Big bump by Troy Mortensen in behind Rick Vincent down the back stretch. We're 3 wide. I'm getting excited. I tell you what, I've got too many things I'm thinking about right now. But anyway, Drew 3 and 4, and Rick Vincent doing a great job at the front. I tell you what, though, Steve-O, we've still got a long way to go. We're getting really excited. Well, I am. 17 laps to go. There's a lot to play out. We haven't even started yet, though. 17 laps to go. The race hasn't started as Gary Wellman, your championship leader, in the second place there on the middle line, is making his way up into the contention.
Ain't Rocky moving around a lot there, Aiden.
Yeah, he is, but that's exactly what's going to happen at the Super Speedway. Everyone's getting a bit antsy. They're getting a bit excited. They're going to see what happens. It feels like I'm on the Ellen show. But
Adam St. John just gets a bit of a bump there from, I think, Kate Donnelly. Drops to the apron and then manages to rejoin in front of Donnelly. So that was a nice catch from Adam St. John.
Yeah, it was, mate. And have a look on the outside. Like, this is how quickly it can happen at Super Speedway. So anyone tuning in here on the broadcast, it's very fast, 300 kilometres an hour, and you're like a millimetre away from the car in front of you. So your reaction times need to be quick. So it might not look what you think it is on the broadcast as we go on board, but it definitely does take a lot out. These guys have now been racing for over an hour now, so they'd be really spent inside their virtual racing helmet. Virtual racing helmet takes a lot of concentration. As the 27 there, you can see how he just backed off there. How quick it is. Watch this draft as they get down into turn number 3 and 4. The 27 of Derek Jacobs on that outside line, really pushing Tristan Koch, and they're trying to make that work as the Everything Stimulated car wants to be a part of this as well. So this is what it looks like. It may look like on board now with the car you're on board with that he's not really trying. He is trying. He's backing off. He is just staying in the draft, trying to get there with 15 laps to go. But that's 300 kilometres an hour around Talladega, and at the moment, Rick Vincent is still leading the way. He's doing a great job. We're still 3 wide, and we're going to continue to go 3 wide for the next 14 laps.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that absolutely at all. That we will finish this 3, even 4 wide when we get those 14 laps down and dusted. And Tristo doing a fantastic job on the outside with Derek Jacobs behind him, and the 2 Everything Simulated Valve Sports cars, as Mortensen gets an odd bump from Adam St. John, and the 2 of them end up on the apron and rejoin in front of Luke Keamy, and Luke's just making sure that he doesn't get involved in that one, with Shane Roffey still in that middle line, and Rick Vincent getting up very close to Gary Wellman, and Todd Maxfield moves back down towards that yellow line again, and Shane Roffey right in behind him, his teammate, Troy Mortensen in behind him, and Kate Donnelly has managed to squeeze through there and find his way to the front of the field. So Kate Donnelly now leads this from Rick Vincent.
Yeah, Kate Donnelly doing a great job over Rick Vincent, and you see Sim Boys in the 45 with Gary Wellman as well. We're 3 wide with, you can see that third line not really moving forward at the moment, led by Tristan Koch. So they had a good run earlier. Oh, big crash! Big crash!
Donnelly on Roffey. And then
one on the lid.
There's
one
the big
on their lid. Big crash.
We've waited 87 laps and we've finally got the big one.
Someone upside down there, and Tristan Koch is not going to be happy with that because he was on the outside line doing nothing, and there was a big crash. So we'll go back and have a look. The 61 there on the middle line. You can see Tristan Koch on the outside line. He had nothing to do with this. They go down the back straight. The 61, or the front straight rather, the 61 goes down onto the inside. We're 3 wide. A little bit of a touch there. What happens here, we're about to find out into 1 and 2. So you can see, a bit of a rub there into 1 and 2.
Shane Roffey just gets a little bit too close to Wellman, and Wellman moves up the track to keep away from him. Shane Roffey moving around a lot. Whether that's aero wash, I don't know, but he's moving around a lot, and he's actually virtually on the apron now.
Yeah, so he's 3 wide, good to go. Oh, yeah, so Cade Donnelly just not giving him room there by the looks of it. And,
look, to be honest, Shane Roffey had 2 wheels on the apron. He was making a pass with half the car over the yellow line.
You can't pass there. You can't do that. So it's not on the car. It's not on the car on the outside to give you room. So if you pass under the yellow, that's on you. So that's why the accident happened. But that's what happens with Talladega. We see Adam St. John on his lid, upside down. Not good for the 45 of your championship elect of Gary Wellman through that incident as well. A road car through the incident, and Tristan Koch, who was doing so good through the incident as well. So we caution 12 laps to go here into the 100. We might go back to the instant replay and go to a quick ad, and then we'll bring up some of your drivers before we come back to the 12 laps left to go here for round number 13.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for all the sponsors and everyone tuning in. Little bit of a play there of our videos for all the sponsors, everyone allowing us to bring these streams across to you on the Quasi Esports channel here for the Oz Oval Supercar Series. But we've gone caution for the 3rd time tonight, 11 laps to go. We are on board with the man, the myth, the legend, Troy Mortensen. Good evening to you, mate. I tell you what. You've had a great ride tonight, done a great job, and you're right up the front and you're in contention to take the win in this one.
Yeah, good evening, boys. Yeah, it's good. Not now, because I've just been given an end of line. But anyway,
oh, no.
All good. I'll send it.
Well, there'll be another caution, so you'll be all right. But anyway, you got an end of line for going over the yellow coming out of pit lane, which, do I take responsibility of that, of bringing you up in the broadcast booth, or?
No, I actually turned my phone off. I was actually on my phone. So, yeah, just,
good to see you concentrated, mate. Just, race, and I'll just scroll through Tinder and do stuff, so all good. But anyway, mate.
I'm too far out on the that.
Anyway, mate, unfortunately, you're at the
update his Tinder. I love the sim race. Do you?
Anyway, mate, you've done a good job tonight. Obviously, a lap down there with that little bit of an incident, but there'll be another caution, I'll guarantee you, with 10 laps to go. But you've been doing a great job, and the series so far, you're inside the top 10, and you had a good bag of points tonight, so you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, no, it's going good. I don't know if I am a lap down. I think I'm still on the lead lap. But, yeah, we'll just, where am I? 13th. So, with
I've
9
got
laps
no live timing, Morty, so bear with me, mate.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so we're just ticking along and trying to get up as far as I can. And, yeah, I was hoping Troy Davidson would be here, but he's not here. So, I'll take his spot, hopefully.
Well, mate, go and win it, mate. Go and win it, and see how you go. But you've been at the front for the whole race. Go win the thing. We got 10 laps to go. Talladega Super Speedway. You know I'll be getting excited, and so will Steve. So we'll put you down into your channel, mate, and let you go and concentrate and try and win this thing.
Just quickly, did I lead a lap at all?
Yes.
I think you did, mate. Yes, you did.
Winning. Too easy, boys.
If you're not first, you're last, mate. You haven't won yet.
That's it.
Have fun, mate, and we'll
Go and get it done, mate. Go and get it done so we can talk to you.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
See you, mate. Well, there we go, Steve. People allowing us to chat to them before they go green. I'm just trying to move him back down. But we're about to go green now, and Kate Donnelly will take us to the lead. But how good is it, even that close to the restart, to allow the drivers to get that close and personal and talk to them?
It's great to hear from him. Sorry, mate, I was halfway through a mouthful of water.
You're all right, mate.
No, look, fantastic stuff as Kate Donnelly leads us away. Luke Keamy back up to the pointy end there, and he's sitting in second place behind Donnelly, but he's under challenge and absolutely under assault from half a dozen cars behind him.
Yeah, and we go 3 wide into 3 and 4. Andy Barber leading the way on that mid-side line now, outside line, trying to make it 3 wide into 3 and 4. Andy Barber, don't write him off. He is a stalwart of the Oval Series here in the Supercars. He's got his teammate Tom Pritchard giving him a big push on the outside there as well. But we saw how that went earlier in the race, and that created the first caution. So hopefully that doesn't replay. As we just go there we go. Commentators curse Kate Donnelly in the fence. I knew what was going to happen. Anyone would think I've done this before.
Good heavens. Cautions breed cautions. That's number 5.
Well, unfortunate there, as you saw on the outside, Cade Donnelly Cade was leading the inside. This is a restart, though, Kobe, not the incident. So you could see there that Cade Donnelly, good restart. We went 3 wide. Andy Barber on the outside. I did mention that push from Tom in the first incident might have done the same thing. They weren't a part of this time. They were the innocent bystanders as we go through the tri-oval. And there we go, caught in the outside rear, and Cade Donnelly just sticked up into the fence, and Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard know where to go, and that just created a domino effect as we got 8 laps to go.
And Kim Roffey looks like he might have escaped with minimal damage out of that one.
Yeah,
he was being pushed along sideways, but it looks like he might have escaped with not a lot of damage. Little bit roughed up on the front of the car. The front splitter's a little bit bent, but otherwise the car doesn't look like it's too bad. And after being on his roof earlier, it's good to see Adam St. John back out there as well.
Yeah, it is. Adam St. John would have been upside down, used that fast repair that we said earlier in the race.
Well, to be honest, I don't know how much. I think he lost a lot of paint rather than anything else. It didn't appear once he ended up on his wheels that the car had that much damage on it. But we're just looking at Luke Keamy at the moment, who's been the beneficiary out of all that in the 166 Commodore. And Luke currently listed as leading this with Jamie Nankervis in second, Maxfield third, Drady fourth, and Craig Roffey in 5th.
Yeah, well, let's have a chat to Jamie. I like pulling people up into the broadcast booth when they don't know, because then it'll make them crash. Because that's what we've seen tonight, and that's not my sentiment, by the way. It was just what we've seen tonight. But we'll have a chat to Jamie, if you don't mind. We're only 7 laps to go, so we're about to come into the last 7 laps. But Jamie, mate, sorry to bring you up into the broadcast booth unannounced. Have you got a copy, mate?
Yeah, I do, but I'm just trying to work out this pace car, what's going on.
You're right, you do that. You do that. You talk to us when you're ready, mate. But Steve,
right.
a bit of a pace car issue at the moment by the looks of it. Jamie
just really trying to figure out what's going on there.
All right, I'll give you an update, guys, as we're going. Because it sort of went green and the cars didn't cross the line before it sort of went yellow again, it's just jammed everyone up. So I've just told Luke to hold up before he crosses the start line as well, so he doesn't get black flag. But it should pick itself back up for the next time round to the start line.
That's right. We'll let you get across the start-finish line, mate, and get all settled in before we start chatting to you. Sorry to bring you up unannounced, but I know you're at the front of race. So
yeah, we noticed that Luke Keamy he actually did pull up at the side of the track on the apron as well, so he must be waiting for the pace car to catch up with him.
Right, anyway, Steve, we'll let Jamie do his thing. We'll keep him in the background there, ready to go green. But this race so far, 7 laps to go, 5 cautions. We went really, really good early, being a super speedway. We had a couple of cautions, 3-4 wide racing, and we've seen 2 or 3 of the similar type of accidents in this one so far after 93 laps now out of 100. But 2 or 3 similar incidents. Do you think we're going to see another one? 7 laps to go. I'd almost guarantee we might, to be honest.
To be honest, I've got a feeling we're going to need a green-white checker on this as it comes down to the final couple of laps. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'd like to see that go. And the pace truck's now past Luke Keamy, so he's able to actually take up his position where he's meant to be, which is ahead of Jamie Nancurvis at the front of this field.
Yeah, we're about to go green, so we only got 1 lap to go, I believe, Jamie, if you can just confirm that.
Correct.
Won't keep you too long, mate. Up the front tonight. Haven't been at the front the whole night. Love your super speedways, love the supercars. Doing a great job, round 13 here for the Oz Oval Series. You're obviously happy to be at the front, but you want to come away with the win tonight, I'd suggest.
Mate, all I need to do, and all I've been looking at all night, is to hang around Craig Roffey somewhere. I'm coming into this race, I was 15 points up on him, holding second in the series, so I've just got to finish somewhere near him. He's a couple behind me at the moment on the outside here, so if I can get the win cleanly, I'll go for it. Otherwise, I just need to finish around him somewhere just so he doesn't get too many points on me.
Well, I did see there you got the old McDoohan helmet going on, mate.
Yes, yeah.
The old Doohan. Nothing wrong with that.
Let him go.
Anyway, mate, we'll let you go. I'm getting called in the back of my ears saying wrap it up, so we'll let you go and concentrate, mate. Best of luck. 6 laps to go here at Talladega. Jamie Nancurvis, we wish you all the best, mate.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. All right. So, Luke Keamy going to be in control of this field. He's got Chris Finlay behind him. And Paul Drady, who's had, a decent enough night, but a couple of little mishaps here and there, sitting in behind him, with Jamie Nancurvis and Todd at Maxfield on the outside, and Craig Roffey sitting in behind 2 cars back from Jamie Nancurvis. As you said, as you heard Jamie say, that his point tonight is to finish somewhere around Craig Roffey. He's got a slight lead over Craig in the championship, so if he can finish ahead of Craig Roffey, he'll finish ahead of him in the championship. And he's currently holding second as they go green, and the foot is down. Luke Keamy leads the field away. Jamie Nancurvis on the outside with Todd Maxfield, and Luke Keamy opens a nice little lead there, Aidan.
Yeah, it's not going to happen for too long, as Jamie Nancurvis, as you said, in second place. You watch this draft, Maxfield in third, you can see Finlay just having a look on the outside. So the Sim boys are going to want to have a run here. Jamie Nancurvis leading the outside line, so he's the first to blink down into 3 and 4 here at Talladega. He's the one trying to make the run to the front, but at the moment on the inside, Keamy and Finlay, or Finlay on the outside, for the outside run. We saw that earlier in the race. We're only 5 laps to go. We're now into go time. You can see in the background there, you've got the Road Sim Sports car of Roffey as well. And he's exactly who Jamie is fighting for second in the championship. So they're going to have their elbows out as Roffey's coming down. Derek Jacobs in the 27. We're 3 wide from America. And we've got 4 wide. 4 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway, led by, at the moment, Jamie Nancurvis on that inside line. He's got the best line. At the moment, he controls the field, but I tell you what, 3-4 wide on the outside, 4 laps to go, Steve. I'm about to get excited. I already am. Take over for a lap before I bring us home.
Well, the best thing Luke Keamy can do at the moment, stay in behind Nancurvis and work with him. He's got Todd Maxfield in behind him. In the middle row, we've got Chris Finlay And then I think that's Kim Roffey in behind him in the purple and black car. Craig Roffey on the outside ahead of Paul Drady with Shane Roffey in behind him. And this is just 3 wide stuff with 4 laps to go. And they're just about to cross the line. And now we've got 3 laps to go. So we've got 2 green laps left before we get the white flag. And there's car contact there. And somebody heads off across the infield and across the grass. So I think that was, yes, actually that was Jared Williams.
Yeah, so there by the everything simulated car there, but he's got time to get back in the draft, albeit only 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go across the strike. Andy Barber just in front of him, just a little bit off the toe at the moment, but we're still 3 wide at the front, and it is the Rogue Simsports car.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Todd Maxfield looked like he got a little bit too high on the track, contacted with Shane Roffey, and around he went and ripped the nose off that Mustang, that Simboys Mustang, and Craig Roffey in amongst all that as well could not avoid the damage.
Yeah, and going back to the instant replay, Craig Roffey involved in that one. He had nowhere to go on the outside, and he's not going to like that because Andy Barber with the, Jamie Nankervis with those championship points, he's going to like to see that as well. But unfortunately there for Craig Roffey as we go caution with only 3 laps to go.
Yeah, two of our podium contenders for the championship coming together at some point in amongst all that. With Todd Maxfield getting involved in it. So it's a little bit messy there. The boys are pushing pretty hard at the closing stages of this one.
Yeah, they are. And we thought that the race would have brought out a few cautions. It's our 6th one tonight, 100 laps at Talladega. This is the racing that it creates. Unfortunately, though, tonight, Steve, it's the last round of the championship. The championship was pretty much sewn up. So at the moment, the guys are just trying to race for the race win. Jamie Nankervis, as you heard earlier on the broadcast, as we were lucky enough to speak to him, he was just trying to battle Craig Roffey for his championship position. But a lot of the other boys within this race, they just want to win this race. And that's what it's about. We're going to go green, white, checker. 3 laps to go. Caution, round 13 here for the Oz Oval Supercar Series on the streams of the platforms of Quasi Esports. We'll go and have a little bit of a break and show you a little bit of love to the sponsors. We're going to go green, white, checker. I like the sound of my own voice. About time I just tone it down a bit and have a bit of a rest. But Steve, we'll have a rest. Let's go and have a look at our sponsors and thank our sponsors before we bring you the final stages of round 13 of the Oz Oval Series here from Talladega Superspeedway.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back, everyone. Round 13 of the Oz Oval Supercar Series here from Talladega Super Speedway. Steve-O, mate, we've had 6 cautions. We were getting excited early. We thought it was going to go caution-free. We've had a little bit of cautions. It's pretty much a couple of people out of contention, a couple of people who are up in the championship now, probably out of contention for the race, but seeing that too with the fast repairs, they're definitely up there. But we're about to go through green, 3 laps to go, and it'll be the 099 bringing us to the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's Kim Roffey, his first round of the championship. Chris Finlay on his outside, who maybe his first, could be his second. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's his first round of the championship. And these guys looking forward to being involved when we roll around with the all the racing that we've got coming up, thanks to Everything Simulated, Inside Lane Productions, and of course streaming through Quasi Esports on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%, and it will be, and that's my 100% thing. It comes out all the time. I've got to stop doing that. But Roffey off the front with Finlay out of the second on the outside of the front row. Big jump there. You can see, there's a spinner on the inside. There's going to be no caution there. And Tom Pritchard on the outside there from the Southern Stars Esports team on the outside of the third row. He's going to get a big push, and you can see Andy Barber wanting to get amongst that as well. You can see also Troy Mortensen not wanting to allow that to happen as he's going down the midline as well. So only 2 laps to go as we go across the start-finish line. I'm about to get excited, so you need to shut me up now, Steve, because I'm about to lose my geyser.
Yeah, look, I was going to throw a bucket of water over you, but I might hit something electrical, so I'll just wait for a wet towel as we continue. We are 4 wide. Just about 4 wide there. Paul Drady was just about to stick his nose down that space, that gap in there. We are 4 wide now, and there's a little bit of contact there, and there's cars all over the place.
Oh, we're caution.
We are caution again.
Oh, we saw that. Green, white checker, Pete Matson. We saw him get up into the fence, and that was like a concertina effect by the looks of it with the car.
It looked like somebody, it looked like he or somebody contacted the rear of Tom Pritchard and got Tom fairly loose there. As we take a look at what actually took place. And
so they're going for 5 wide, if you don't mind.
That's Pete Matson, and he's actually sitting in behind Andy Barber. And let's
just rewind that for a second. Sorry to cut you off, Steve. Let's rewind that for a second.
All right, I'm keeping count.
Shush you mush. Let's rewind that for a second. And you can see,
Shannon Wright it was.
Yeah, you can see that there's a car on the outside, and it's the same thing as we've seen in the previous 3 or 4 cautions, Steve, with the car on the outside, the car on the inside just drifting up a little bit and getting, not saying that, but it's the same way we've seen caution.
Yeah, it looks like Shannon's seen a gap that wasn't really there, and all of a sudden the gap's closed, and he's contacted with Andy Barber, who's gone into the wall, then moved down track and managed to avoid about 6 other cars, but then got an attack from Rick Vincent and Jared Williams.
Yeah, unfortunate there from Andy. He got through that and then caught up in a separate incident. But we're going to go green-white checker here for round number 13. Not what the boys would have wanted. Tom Pritchard came through unscathed in that by the looks of it. And is going to lead the way.
Well, I think it's our second GWC, and we've only got 2, so the race will finish.
Well, we'll see what happens, but it will be.
We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Yep, see what actually happens, what occurs.
Mortensen in 5th, Steve-O.
Well,
Troy's in 5th. Troy Mortensen in 5th.
Yes, Troy Mortensen in 5th place. He's shooting for a top 5 finish in the championship, so he's in a good spot to pick up some points for that. Yep. And our championship elect, Gary Wellman, sitting there on screen at the moment.
He's not on screen for me, but yep.
He was when I called it. He's sitting a few car lengths behind Troy Mortensen.
Anyway, let's call the back end of the race. This has been a bit clunky, Steve. We usually commentate pretty good, but been a bit clunky. But at the moment, it's round 13, and we've got Gary Wellman on your screen at the moment. But Tom Pritchard, he hasn't really been there or thereabouts. He was pushing Andy Barber early in the race and actually got involved in a couple of the incidents that we saw earlier, and now he's up leading the motor race, Steve.
Sorry, mate, you're not looking at the stream, are you?
No.
Okay.
Looking at this good.
Okay, no, it's all good. I just thought you might have been on the delay, that was all. Because our commentary was out, and I'm definitely looking at the screen from Inside Lane Production. So, yeah, just thought there might have been an issue there.
Okay, let's keep going. Tom Pritchard leading the way over Chris Finlay, Kim Roffey, Paul Grady, and Troy Mortensen will be your 5 as we come to the green next time across the strike, and it will be your last green-white checker. So it will be one more time for these guys. The next flag will call it, and that will create, or that will be your winner here for round 13 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Oval Series here on your streams of Quasi Esports. Will it be Tom Pritchard? Will it be Christopher Finlay? Will it be Kim Roffey? Will it be Paul Drady? Will it be Troy Mortensen? Will it be anyone in behind? Because we've seen it go 3-4 wide within the first lap. But I will remind you, the first flag will have your winner here for round 13. So we're about to go green. If we see a caution, if we see a red flag, if we see a black flag, any flag will create or will give you your winner here for round 13. It will be Pritchard. You can see in the Mish's Excel Garage, number 6 on the inside, bringing us to the pole. You can see on the outside line we were there on with the pace truck. Christopher Finlay in second position. Is he got anything for Tom Pritchard? We'll see on that outside line. We haven't really seen that outside line work well tonight, so I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to get that job done, but who's going to be able to push him? He's got Kim Roffey on the outside of him or behind him, with Paul Drady in third, in behind Tom Pritchard as well, and then Mortensen in 5th. So it's Pritchard, Drady and Mortensen Pritchard, Drady and Mortensen. Yeah, it is on the inside line. No, it's actually not Drady, it's Roffey and Mortensen. So are they going to have anything to be able to push? But it's a 2-lane street at the moment. We're going to get 3 or 4 wide. Only a couple of cars left in there. Jamie Nankervis, who we spoke about earlier as well, he's still there or thereabouts. A couple of drivers caught up in incidents, but we're going green. Your last green-white checker, it will be Tom Pritchard bringing us to the green this time around, Steve, and the pace truck does come in, and we're about to go green. We'll see what happens. Tom Pritchard down to the Geico restart zone, 3 wide, very, very shortly. Steve, bring us to the green.
So Tom Pritchard in control of the field, and he'll actually have Chris Finlay on his outside. Right behind him, Kim Roffey in his first outing for the series, as I said earlier. Troy Mortensen in behind him. Paul Drady sitting on the outside line behind Chris Finlay in that 104 car. And the 129 carbon fibre Commodore, just ahead of, I believe, Jamie Nankervis. And Jamie sitting in 5th at the moment. Troy Mortensen fighting hard there for the moment, trying to stay in that top 5 and on the inside. But Drady makes it a little bit narrow there as the purple and black car of Kim Roffey gets a little bit loose. Left, right. And Pritchard fighting hard to hold on to the lead of this one. And a big challenge from Chris Finlay in the 104 Simboys car.
Yeah, and Jamie Nankervis, you can see he's about 6 spots back. He's going to drop in behind Gary Wellman, have a big run for the end of this one down on the outside line. He didn't really get the draft there, and that's allowed Tristan Koch to have a really, really good run around the outside here through the tri-oval at Talladega. Pete Matson wants to bar of it too, and there's going to be an incident. So we'll keep going. Gary Wellman around the outside. Barber's involved with that as well. Let's just keep going back to the lead with only 1 lap to go. You've got Tom Pritchard down on the inside line, the 104, Christopher Finlay. He's trying to have a run. We're going to go 3 wide as well. I tell you what, Steve. Oh, Tom Pritchard, he's been left out to drink there.
Rick Vincent contacts Chris Finlay.
And whoever can get through it, it's going to be...
Rick Vincent.
No!
And that's Rick Vincent to the front.
No way. That's not how you want to end a motor race. Rick Vincent's going to win it over Troy Mortensen.
Mortensen into 2nd, Kim Roffey 3rd, Pritchard 4th, and Gary Wellman will bring it home in 5th place, but I don't know how many cars are still running under their own power.
That was not how we wanted it to end up. So we've
definitely
got
not what we wanted to
Troy Mortensen in 3rd and Kim Roffey, Troy Mortensen in 2nd and Kim Roffey in 3rd.
Yeah, I've got no problem with the positions, but I really would have preferred to see the guys actually get across the line without that.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. We're done. Round 13 of the Oz Oval Series done and dusted. Rick Vincent was your winner over Troy Mortensen and Kim Roffey in 3rd position. Tom Pritchard come home in 4th position tonight. He was there or thereabouts at the end, leading the way over Gary Wellman. Your championship elect in the 5th position. Christopher Finlay in 6th with Jared Williams in 7th. Jamie Nankervis coming home in 8th position. Paul Drady and Tristan Koch, who was up there at the end, coming home in 10th, Steve.
Yeah, and 11th place, Craig Roffey, so I believe that's your 3rd place in the championship there. Adam St. John, new to the series, has managed to bring it home 12th after a couple of incidents. Peter Matson 13th. It's moving around on me and it's changing. Peter Matson 11th, Luke Keamy 12th, Craig Roffey 13th, Adam St. John 14th, and Shane Roffey, Kate Donnelly, Derek Jacobs, eventually finishing 17th, Shannon Wright, and we finish up with Tony Roffey in 21st place in the 85 car.
Yeah, what a good night it was, mate. 13 rounds of the Oz Oval Series here on your platforms, mate. First series. I bet you're happy with that. I'm actually proud to be able to commentate in the back end, but Gary Wellman celebrating as he should as your season champion in the 45 Simboys car. Mate, before we go across and have a chat to your podium getters and of course your championship winners, Season 1 of the Supercar Series, how'd it go down? Give us a bit of feedback. How do you think Season 1 went, mate?
I'm pretty happy. I'm very happy, actually. I said at the start of this that I was very happy and relieved that with all the work, the support from the drivers, the sponsors, commentators, production crew, I'm very happy with the way things have gone, and it's gotten to this point where we've now completed Series 1. So we learned a lot throughout this about some of the rules, fine-tuned a lot of things, fine-tuned some of the penalties and stuff like that. To still be flexible. I don't like to be too hard on things. Don't like to give out penalties, but sometimes they're necessary. So we've done a lot of fine-tuning. We've gotten the series to the point now whereas I'm happy with where it sits and looking forward to continuing on with what we've achieved so far. And look, the support of the drivers, fantastic stuff. we're building all the time. We've got 78 people registered for the series, and I think that just it looks good for going into our recruitment races and our summer series over the next couple of months. And then and next year we will be looking at Series 2 for 2025, and that will, if iRacing gets what they want from supercars, we'll have the Gen 3 cars for Series 2, which will kick off possibly in February.
Yeah, well, we see that, though. Like, how good is it? We can see, I think that's Shannon Wright doing some skids there as well. Gary Wellman doing a great job doing some skids, and your inaugural championship winner in the 45.
Damien Ankervis actually celebrating second place in the championship.
Yeah, he was actually second place after getting that over Offie. So we'll just quickly go through the winners again, who placed tonight. Kobe, if you can just put that up again for me. It was Finlay, Vincent and Mortensen, your first three. So we'll bring Christopher up into the broadcast at the moment, and we've got everyone up here ready to go. But before we have a chat to everyone, it's going to be quite a long post race, because end of round 13, end of the season, we've got sponsors we need to talk to, etc. But everyone just settle down, tune in. We'll go back to some sponsors, have a bit of an ad, and then we'll bring you the wrap up here for round number 13 of the Oz Oval Series from Talladega Superspeedway.
Gentlemen, please.
We'll start with you.
Okay, we've got our race. We've got our. G'day and welcome to round 13 of the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Series, brought to you by Everything Simulated and Inside Lane Productions, streaming exclusively through Quasi Esports on YouTube. And we've got a full house here at the moment, and we're going to talk to Troy Mortensen, third place in the race tonight, and started 19th, finished third, led a lap. G'day, Troy. How are you? Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, g'day, Steve, and Aiden, and it was going good.
Mate, give us your impressions. A little bit rough there at the end. We sort of went through a rough period there for the last 10 to 20 laps. How did you see your race?
Oh, yeah, that last few laps was pretty hectic. I think I said to you when you dragged me up in the broadcast I was going to sand it, because I got that end of line, and I did. So I do apologise to, I don't know who it was, but there was a little gap smaller than the car, and I took it. So, no, it was good.
You do what you've got to do, mate.
It was an enjoyable race. I enjoyed it. It was good.
That's excellent. I mean, the third place for the race. I'm not quite sure how it works out in the wash, but you'd be pretty close to a top 5 for the championship because of that. But that's something that'll have to get sorted out post-race with everything that's taken place at the moment. And the working out the points on the fly is not really my forte. So, look, up and down throughout the field, you had yourself a couple of flags there at different points. You led the race for a while. You're at the pointy end for a big chunk of it. So you must be pretty pleased with that. I think you've probably fulfilled your target with finishing where you did.
Yes, definitely. I think I spoke to you last night that my goal was to finish top 20. So if I can get into the top 5, which I should, hopefully, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Anybody want to give a shout out to, mate?
DJ and Tristo, we were all together and we were sort of working together and just keeping out of trouble. yeah, just everybody that I raced with that didn't take me out.
No worries. All right, congratulations and well done again, Troy Mortensen on third place here in the final round at Talladega, Alabama, for the Oz Oval Series, and we're looking forward to having you back again in the racing to come. We've got a few recruitment races, and then we go into our summer series in November. So that's a fortnightly series. So you're likely to be available for that.
Yeah, hopefully. If it's going to be a fortnight one, it'll be good. Depending on when we get the header out and get the crops off. But they're pretty average this year, so it won't be out for too long. I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, I'll attempt to make an appearance.
No worries. All right, congratulations, mate. Thanks very much, and we'll probably have a chat outside the broadcast as well. And I'll hand over to Aidan, and he can actually speak to Rick Vincent, our second place getter tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and good evening to you, Rick. Second place tonight here for round number 13 of the Oz Oval Series, brought you by Everything Simulated, mate. It's nothing new to talk to you, actually. I'm having deja vu. I spoke to you last week. I spoke to you before the broadcast tonight. You're making a little bit of habit about this, mate.
Bridesmaid again, but yeah, happy to be in the top three. Not happy with my move on Chris. I do apologise. I definitely turned him on that last lap. Didn't mean to, but you know that's the thing. You got to run close at Talladega to other cars. There's side draft and and it only takes the smallest amount of touch and that. So everyone's not given an inch at the last couple of laps. So yeah, very enjoyable race. I had some really good runs throughout the race. I actually lost sound. I had the car sound, but I had no spotter and Discord. I accidentally pressed a button and muted all them. So it took me a couple of 3 or 4 laps before I got that back.
Well, you did a great job, mate. You had a bit of adversity there and did a great job and still got the podium. Obviously, there was a big incident at the end, but 2 weeks in a row. Going into season 2 next season, the couple of races I've called, you've been up on the podium. Are you willing or you wanting to challenge for this championship next season and try and go again? Because Gary Wellman, who we're going to speak to shortly, a great man, a gentleman, absolutely bloody deserves this title this season. He's going to be back and try and go for number 2, but you've been up there on the podium for the last couple of rounds and we'll give him something to chase. So are you looking to come back for season 2?
Yeah, definitely. Whether I make all the rounds, I'd like to think that I can this time. It just depends on how it all falls and what's on the day. But yeah, I've had some good finishes this year. Road racing in it all up has done well. So we were pushing hard trying to get Craig up front for a while there. He was in hopes of second place, but I think that slipped away with a couple of incidents. But yeah, we'll be back next season for sure.
No worries, mate. Well, big congratulations to you tonight anyway for being involved, and a couple of really good results. But second place tonight for the 94 of Rick Vincent, mate. Big your time to shine. Round 13, season done. Big shout out to everyone involved.
Yeah, I'd like to thank our sponsors, mate. MD Sports, a great bunch, do team shirts and sportswear and that, and Elite repairs for my gaming machine and that, and all the road sim racing boys. Great team, fantastic. And a big shout out to Steve and everyone who volunteers and puts money forward and gives time to this series. Hold your head high. It's been a good series.
No worries, mate. Big congratulations for P2 tonight, the 94 Rick Vincent. But we go across, Steve, and we don't want to sort of shove away from Rick. We don't. I do apologise for that, Rick. You did a great job, mate. P number 2. But the winner tonight, Steve, Mr. Finlay. You have a chat to him.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've just come back out, another dropout. Yeah, good day, Chris. How are you?
Yeah, going well, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, you managed to get it home first in a messy finish. A marvellous race in a very long green section there in the middle. A couple of minor incidents early on, and then of course we had a very messy finish tonight. We had more cautions than we could poke a stick at in that last 10 or 20 laps. But your impressions of the race tonight? I mean, you were sort of always there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I was kind of just biding my time, just hanging off the back there a little bit. It was actually quite a messy race. I don't know whether it was the fast repairs that were added in or what it was, but it just seemed to be carnage everywhere.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it had a lot more to do with people just pushing hard. Last race of the season, they wanted to get at the front. There was a bit of biff and barge there for a little while towards the end. So at Dega, that's probably what we expected early. We just didn't get it to that degree. So your first round of the series, I believe, isn't it?
No, I think it might be my second one. I think I finished 5th at Daytona not long ago as well.
Right, of course, okay. No worries, my mistake. I'm just trying to keep up with who was there and who wasn't throughout the series. So, yeah. Look, mate, anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Definitely the Sim boys. Well done to those guys for keeping it going most of the year. I haven't actually had much of a chance to race this year, which kind of sucked. But I did joke with them during the week that I was a super speedway ringer, and here it is, and got the win. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Also, Hot Toddy's heating installs and United Electrical Solutions. Those boys are still on board, sponsoring the team, and they do a great job.
No worries at all. Look, started 10th, finished first. You're credited with leading 2 laps, so there'll be some decent points there, even though it's the last round of the championship. But look, great work at getting across the line there, despite the messy finish. So congratulations on the win tonight, mate, and hope to see you back through the summer series or even when we get around to season 2 next year.
Yeah, definitely going to try and get back to a few more rounds, but see how it works out with the young fella.
Yeah, no worries at all, mate. Life's got to come first, unfortunately, and that's just the way it goes. All right, then. So congrats again to Chris Finlay, our winner tonight. And I'll hand back to Aidan. He can talk to our championship winner. I've just got a little bit of an eye issue I've got to take care of.
You're right, mate. You go do that. And before I come to you, Gary, so just bear with me, mate. Thank you for just holding on there. I'll chat to Jamie. Jamie, mate, P2 in the championship. You got the job done, albeit a little bit messily at the end. Not to be done by yourself, but you got the job done and got the P2 done. So well done, mate.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit crazy, but that's all right. That's racing. You got the job done, that's all that matters.
Look, and that's what I said to you guys on one of those restarts near the end there. I just had to sort of watch who was driving around, and once we sort of got those last couple laps, I knew that wasn't going to change too much in points, so that wasn't going to sort of alter. But yeah, that was there's some carnage there in the last couple. I ended up getting a black flag through no fault of my own on that last one when there was another car came flying up behind and took a couple of us out after the accident was already over. So that made sure we lost a couple more places out of that, but the car was destroyed anyway. So
yeah, it seemed like it was that as well, and I got a bit excited. If you go watch the replay back, Craig got a little bit of a run on the outside line there when you were stuck in the middle, and I'm like, oh, here's the fight for. But 15 points was not what he was going to get. But you know how excited I get. But anyway, you got the second place, and it's well deserved, mate. So big congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And firstly, unlucky for Craig. I think he did miss a round last week as well, and that sort of put me back in second place in the points. So he was up in second for a long time there. So it was just unlucky that he missed that round, and all the carnage tonight didn't help either. So firstly, Craig, unlucky for you, mate. I think you really had that second place wrapped up earlier, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, we'll let you go. Jamie, thanks for your time. We will go across to Gary as the championship elect or champion elect, but thanks for your time tonight, Jamie, and big congratulations on your P2 and the championship.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay, if I could just interject there for a moment, I've got Craig Roffey with us, our third place in the championship, I believe. Craig, how you doing?
I'm alright. Bit heated. It was messy, to say the least.
Sorry, Craig, I didn't realise you were in the chat, mate. I didn't even
Nah, I got dragged up. I didn't know I had to come in here.
Yeah, that's my fault. I want to talk to him. Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was messy at the end there, unfortunately, and very little we could do about that now. A lot of push and shove there at the end, and some unfortunate stuff that took place. But look, I believe that's third in the championship in Series 1 for the Oz Oval Series. So it's been a long fight. Obviously, you were really keen to get up there and fight Jamie for that second spot in the championship. It just wasn't to be.
Yeah, it's just it's Dagger. What do you expect? That's wouldn't expect anything less. But I think if you do, like, going forward, season 2, get rid of that fast repair. That just makes everyone think they're invincible, and nothing to lose if you got a fast repair in mind, don't you?
Well, it's a discussion that's yet to be had, but certainly not going to go into the politics of it now. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that some people treat it the right way, some people don't, and it's just like pretty much anything in the racing. So you get that, and without it, we probably would have still had the mess. So it's a bit hard to say.
Yeah, it is. It's you can't say. But apart from that, it's been a good season. Got P3. Went on to the other two in the championship.
Shout outs to sponsors, teammates, that sort of stuff, mate.
Yeah, mate. Just MD Sports, as Rick said, doing us t-shirts, team t-shirts, and sporting gear and all that whatnot. The Rogue Boys, cheers for coming out each week, and just might not get the finish you want, but we have fun, we have banter. There's a bit of camaraderie here within the league, but that's racing.
And having the Rogue Boys here, it really is appreciated. The support of the series and the championship all over. Very, very happy to have you here, and you've made a very interesting season.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So a couple of the boys can't usually race any other weeks, just early work start times and stuff like that. Lastly, you guys that put it on. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys and the broadcasting fellas. So top job, and keep up with the good work, and we'll see you next season.
No worries, shall do. Congratulations again, Craig Roffey, a podium in the championship, and very, very welcome to have Craig and his team taking part, which includes Rick Vincent, who came second tonight in the race. And I'll throw it over to Aidan to interview our championship leader.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Gary Wellman, good evening to you, mate. Is there something you can't do in this car on the oval? Seriously, can you just stop it?
I don't know. I didn't win tonight, but I didn't avoid the wrecks either. So that's Talladega, like Craig said. But yeah, championship all in all. It's just about being consistent. I think I'll check the stats actually, and I think I've done every lap of every race. So I think that goes to show if you're just there at the finish and you don't crash out and you just try and consistently finish on the lead lap, it tends to pay off.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I've looked at the championship points after doing the first 2 rounds and then not doing any. And obviously commentating, I've had a look at it, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. But at the end of the day, you still need to show up, and you still need to do a good job. There's some heavy hitters in here and some really, really good drivers, and this car around the oval landscape, it creates good racing. It's different. like as we do NASCAR, as Jamie does, and Shannon does, and a lot of other people. Like, it's a totally different way of driving a car around an oval, and it creates such close racing. So it's so easy to be able to make the wrong decision within there and get caught up into a wreck to be able to wreck your championship. So it's no mean feat to be able to actually win one, if you know what I mean, in terms of level-headedness.
Yeah, I think that's it with these. You definitely need to be sort of thinking on the fly a bit more and work out who you're racing and how to race them, and then strategy comes in too. I think with pit stops and stuff, you got to know when to save a bit of fuel, and they do take longer to fill up and all the rest. So you really got to you can gain some time in pit lane pretty well with these things too. So it's a mixture of things which, from the outside looking in, you might think, they're just, they're flat out the whole time and there's not much coming into it. But there is, when you've done it for a few years, you know all the little tricks, and it all sort of helps in the end. And then, just staying consistent. And Jamie, Jamie, he's done really well for consistency this season. And congrats to him on the second. He's just worked hard at it, and he's always good to race against too.
Yeah, on occasions, Jamie. I'll call you out on occasions. Nah, joking. No, you did well, the boys, to go 1, 2, 3. So, did a great job. But, mate, this V8 Supercars, you going in for season 2? You going to try and defend your title, mate?
Yeah, I'll be there, mate. Yeah, we always enjoy racing these things, and some nights are better than others. Super speedways can often turn a bit messy, and it did a bit tonight.
Don't get me started.
No, but that's it. It's all part of it. You just need to, again, know how to race the track and others around you, and sort of read what's going on. And a lot of us got stung at the end with the incident points and stuff. But I suppose if you'd hung back, and hindsight's easy, and if you'd hung back and avoided a few of those earlier, you would have been easy podium at the end. But we haven't got that luxury of hindsight, have we?
Well, hopefully I'll be there for season 2, but I don't think I will, because I have a strong intuition that I'll probably be commentating. So, I won't be able to take you out next season, Gary, so you'll be happy with that. But Gary Wellman, mate, your championship elect here for season number 1 of the Oz Oval V8 Supercar Series, mate. Big shout out to everyone involved. Big congratulations on your P1 and the championship, mate. I can't wait to see you go and defend it next year.
Yeah, it should be good fun. Like you said, there's some really good drivers in here, and for the majority, most of the racing's hard but clean, and it's nice to see a lot of the drivers sort of getting better at it through the year. And I think definitely next year, it'll be tougher again to win it. There's always some quick guys that are good to race against, and we enjoy it. So we'll be back.
Well, it's probably a good time to bring in our series sponsor, Shannon Wright from Everything Simulated. Your views on the whole thing tonight?
Mate, she was very eventful. It was good. It was good. It was, I think it was a chance where, it was a championship, so the guys were actually conserving a little bit, but, and I think there was a thing where it was the last round. You did have some guys in there which were actually going for the win. On that last one, I just found I had a really good draft, and I caught up really quick, and obviously the two guys were drafting against each other, and all of a sudden that speed wasn't there, and I had nowhere to go except high and tag, so sorry for that one. But as it is, Talladega. Mate, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed actually leading. I enjoyed racing around the guys, and it was great fun.
Yeah, no worries at all. Now, we're just going to point out that as series sponsor, Shannon's actually, Everything Simulated, has actually sponsored 3 engraved plaques, and Shannon will be organising through the admins to get those out to our top 3 championship podium. So, Gary, you can expect one in the mail at some point.
Yeah, nice. Oh, cheers, Shannon, and Everything Simulated for the prizes. It's always good to be able to take something home at the end of it. And well done again, Jamie and Craig for the top 3.
Yeah, congratulations to the podium. It was an awesome championship. It was great to be a part of. It is a bit weird for the sponsor to be a part of, but I'll tell you what, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and
Shannon, real quickly, sorry to cut you off, but real quickly, I know you're trying to obviously talk about all the championship leaders and being a part of it, but you know what? if it wasn't for you sponsoring it and the business sponsoring it, this league wouldn't be here. So tell us a little bit about Everything Simulated and let the viewers know what Everything Simulated is and what you bring to the iRacing or the even just the sim racing community, not the iRacing community, and how they can get involved in it.
Yeah, guys. So Everything Simulated pretty much started over COVID. It was a lot to do with the E-Series. And then I had friends that knew, like, they didn't want to get associated with the racing or anything like that beforehand. They thought it was just a little bit fun and that. But once they saw how serious it got with the E-Series, they all wanted to be part of it. And I was already a member of groups and that. And I'm an OG from when iRacing first started with all Madison Down and all that stuff, all those boys. And so I pretty much got in contact with a few people, joined a few groups, set a page up, which was just called Everything Simulator Related. Before I knew it, I had manufacturers, simrigs.com, trackracer.au, Mecca, Sim Hardware, everyone just knocking on my door saying, would you like to be our distributor for our products? So, mate, and I've got no overheads here, so I'll keep the prices down reasonable to everyone. I'm not here to make $1 million, mate. I'm here to get everyone a part of the sport and get out there racing for sim stuff. And like, people thought things were unaffordable because of different prices being put on things and that, and mate, I make it so it's actually a lot easier for people to get involved and get good gear as well, mate, not having to deal with all cheap gear because they feel they can't have the budget for it.
So it's so good, mate, that people like you are about and around the sim racing community and allowing people to be able to enter. Like, yes, we can go to EB Games and we can buy our G29s and we can do all that type of stuff. Obviously, anyone can be involved at any level, but the fact that you're doing that and allowing people to get a part of this sport, which is a great sport and it is actually growing, like we've all run in the real world as we do, but we all enjoy our sim racing, so we really do appreciate that. And from a sponsorship, mate, to put your money where your mouth is and to be able to support a series, especially a series for its first time out, we really do appreciate it, Shannon, so thank you so much.
Not a problem, but I'll just, guys, shout out a few people. Valve Esports, straight away, because without them, I wouldn't be able to get the exposure that I've had already with Everything Simulated. They've been a great team, very professional, and they're not about themselves. They're about helping other people as well. And once I actually see what they're involved in, I've got involved a few of their different rounds. So it's actually been good that way for exposure, but I've also helped them out with gear and that, and you can actually talk to them and you can actually see they've actually got better equipment now, and that's actually helped them with their results and that as well. And I can tell you, with the setup I've got, like, it's still about 25 grand's worth of setup, but I tell you what, mate, it's just magic. When you got motion and everything like that, you can feel the car squirming, and it's just next level, and I actually love it. But yeah, so with my stuff too, I actually focus on race drivers. So we're talking like Summer Grace Racing, Maisie Place Motorsport, 16 Motorsport, which is to do with go-karts. We've also got Austin Davies Racing, Osria Racing. So there's a lot of people I'm involved with, and it's about off-track experience as well, to try and give them the most realistic feel so they can relate to their race car, because then again, as you know, there's not much on-track time, or the turnaround's really quick, so any chance they get off-track to relate what they're doing to what tracks they've got coming ahead, that's where I get involved as well.
And I believe you're actually going to be attending the Gold Coast V8 event. Are people able to find you? You're going to be in like a merchandising tent or something like that?
Yeah, so I actually help out another crew which is called Adrenaline Events Australia. So I supply their simulators to them, and also I go out and I help out at events as well. So I do all their corporate stuff, and when they do their public stuff, obviously when it's a big event like the Gold Coast, you're going to need a few hands on deck. We normally put about 12 simulators on the floor, and we just run off our feet. Like, I mean, we're going from 8 o'clock in the morning right the way through till nearly about 4-5 o'clock, and it's just like jockers. And yeah, it's great. We're actually at Sandown next weekend, so if anyone in Victoria is down there, look for the Adrenaline Events tents, red and white. Have Adrenaline Events, you've got the simulators there, and come down and say hello.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. That's where people can catch up with you. So anybody watching the broadcast, if you're going to be at the Sandown race, check out the tent there and look for adrenaline and everything simulated, and say good day to the guys. And if you're going to be at the Gold Coast event for the V8s, do the same. Find them, say good day, and have a go in the simulators, and try your hand at whatever it is that they've got running at the time. And who knows, you may even get to try some road courses and maybe some V8 supercars on ovals, depending on what they've got running at the time. But yeah, check the guys out, say good day to the boys that are there, and get some information on getting your equipment.
100%. We normally, what track we're at, we'll put the track up and the cars, so we'll run the cars as well, and we have a competition for fastest lap over the weekend, so we go fastest lap for the kids and the adults, and yeah, so make it a bit of a competition. You actually see people buying one ticket and coming back and getting the whole weekend pass because they want to win the competition, so it's great.
Well, as the league,
I feel a little bit torn here, Steve, because I do the same thing in my business. So anyway, I'll see you at the Goldie, Shannon.
All right, it's on.
Well, yeah, look, I was just going to say, as league admin and organiser, etc. Look, I'm really appreciative and thankful to have everything simulated come on board. It happened through just a late night casual conversation one night, but I was pointing out something on your Facebook page, and we ended up getting in a conversation about it, and you asked, well, what's it going to take to sponsor? And so, yeah, we made it happen. But very pleased.
To be honest, Steve, sorry to jump in, and to be honest, I might have made a little bit of a joke there, Shannon, but seriously, mate, it's people like you and stuff around the iRacing or the simulator community that allows this to happen, mate. So that might have been a little bit of a joke. I really don't care. It's about engaging people to be able to enjoy what we enjoy, and that's exactly what you're doing, mate. So, yeah, that's what it's about, and yeah, you're doing a great job, mate. So thank you for being involved.
Thank you, guys. And look, need any sim gear, hit us up, and I'll look after you.
All over to you, Steve, before I rudely cut you off.
No, that's fine, mate. I was just going to thank him for the trophies and point out once again that Shannon is providing the engraved plaques for the championship sponsorship, championship podium. So we'll be organising to get those out to the top three in the championship, and I'll be contacting those drivers about their postal address and passing it on to Shannon through private messages. We certainly don't want that stuff advertised out in the open, and then Shannon will organise to actually get those off once they're engraved and ready to go.
Yeah, no worries, guys. And I've looked at them, and I'll tell you what, they look amazing, and can't thank Gold Coast Trophies enough for it.
I'll throw it across to Aidan to close off the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, mate, and thanks, Shannon. We'll have to catch up on the Goldie, mate, since you're on the Gold Coast. So we'll have to catch up. But that is what is Season 1, Round 13 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series. Of course, myself in the booth for the last couple of rounds, and I thank you for that, Steve-O, for allowing me to do that. Steve Hoppett in the booth as well. Kobe in behind the scenes. We do have a recruitment race at Charlotte Motor Speedway that you just saw up on your graphics as well coming up. But make sure you tune in to Quadzy Esports on the streams on YouTube, etc., and make sure you don't miss any of the action. But that is that is season number 1, round 13 of the Oz Oval Series. Steve, mate, thank you for joining me in the booth. Gary Wellman was your championship winner. Obviously, we had Jamie Nankervis in second, and Christopher Finlay coming away with the tonight as well. But that is round 13. That's season 1 done and dusted.
Yep, no worries. And look, to be perfectly honest, very happy with the way the season's gone. There's a couple of things we would like to clean up a little bit more, obviously, especially after the way tonight finished. But you get that. I mean, it was, I've never held with this, it's a super speedway, it's going to be messy. It happens that way, but it can also happen at any track, really, under whatever circumstances. But look, we've learned a lot through the season. We've fine-tuned a lot, as I said at the start of the broadcast. Rules have been updated, things have been tightened up, penalties have been tightened up, and it's all aiming towards improving as we go along. We're not going to sit on our laurels and just say, well, yep, okay, we're happy with the way it is. Always looking to improve, always looking to recruit and get more drivers in. So look, very, very appreciative of the support from all the drivers and all the teams, and hoping to see them back for at least the recruitment races in the summer series before we head into season 2 next year.
Yeah, well, thank you, Steve. Thank you for putting it on. Thank you to all the drivers and everyone involved here for Season 1 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Series. Christopher Finlay was your winner tonight, and your championship elect was Gary Wellman. But from myself, everyone in the broadcast team here on Quasi Esports, Steve, Kobe in behind the cameras, thank you so much for all the work you've done. Thank you for all the drivers involved in this. That is Season 1 a wrap. Gary Wellman, your championship winner. And we'll see you in the next couple of months for Season 2 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Oval Series.